Hello, everybody. The RPG Limit Break channel. We got a good weekend of Octopath Traveler related things for you from the Octopath speedrunning community. I am Ultibiscuit. I will be your restreamer for the first half of today. With all that being said, we'll just get started here.
Oh.
Oh, fun. Our runners have a countdown and we're off.
Lies in the flame.
So, we're starting out, fighting V-Day. So we're starting out with the final boss of the game. So, congratulations, It's going to be a short run.
That's it. Well done. Good job, everyone.
If we beat the game this early.
Marathon over, go home.
Yeah.
This is just a little kind of tutorial segment at the beginning of Temenos story that introduces the kind of concept of the history of the continent, I suppose. So it's actually a really nice starting point for this game, I think.
Yes, and as we're getting ready to see, I love this because Temenos just doing a puppet show.
Yeah, just a little story.
It's just a puppet show. And he stumbles, and that's why it cuts back. So Temenos is going to see what's going on. He's going to recruit Crick, guide him on his way. Crick is one of my favorite characters, also. He deserves nothing bad. Nothing bad happens to Crick. Don't worry about Crick. Yeah, so we're getting our tutorials. We're going to have the break section come up because, yep, here we go. Tutorial time. Here's how we break. Here's how we run away. Yay! So if you're not familiar with Octopath 2 has a day and night system. The day system has different path actions. Night system has different night actions. For Temenos, it is coerced. If you break your opponent, they just give you information or stuff or whatever.
Where was a holy light? Illuminate the darkness.
Got our first little tutorial with that as well.
Holy light. Illuminate the darkness.
And the chapter 1 is pretty much straightforward. The runners are just going to be kind of plowing through this. There's no nothing really super complicated going on in chapter 1 at the moment. But just, again, it's designed as the tutorial of the game, so it's pretty simple in that way.
Yeah, you see them going through and collecting some items. They got the charm staff. That's very important if you actually want to defeat this first boss. They're also getting a couple of soul stones that's going to help also take out this boss. Looks like Zazu decided to use the light soul stone here to get some extra experience, which means that they're going to get the backup soul stone
Are you all right?
up there in the cathedral.
Oh, Doid doing the same thing.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the soul stone here, or use that soul stone back there, will give you a chance to like just wreck puppy here. Sorry, if you're a fan of dogs, this is not the dog that you want.
Sorry, dog
To
enjoyers.
battle, Crick. Oh dear. Holy light.
This
Illuminate
is
the
the big scary dog that
battle.
Temenos and Crick have to fight off now.
I see what you
Because it broke into the cathedral.
Where was our holy light? Illuminate the darkness.
I'll say,
I will protect
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we're just making use of
my honor as a please win
the
fight.
abilities here, Crick's ability to lower the boss's defense
Heal.
in order to get extra damage in, and just making very quick work of this.
Yes, we're holy light illuminate the darkness a lot.
To battle. I will protect.
Very well. You're welcome. To repent. Holy light.
Hopefully no one messes up this fight. This fight actually can be easy to mess up depending on
Very well. Holy
the
light.
actions of
Illuminate
Puppy
the
here.
darkness.
Which it looks like Zazu is going to get through here just fine.
Here
But
you go.
Doid is navigating the fight pretty well, healing Rick just as he should. As they should. So, yeah, Zazu's out.
The darkness.
I'll leave you in place.
Holy light.
Yeah.
Illuminate the darkness.
Yeah, well done fight there. A little investigation section. Temenos going into his mind palace, solve the crime. Mostly just narrative setup for the rest of the story, but we don't need to talk about the narrative too much. This is the speedrun. We're gonna be skipping all those cutscenes
May
anyway.
the sacred flame
Yep, we're just going
guide
to go to a library and separate with Rick.
you.
Bye, Crick.
Yeah. Also, don't worry about those two people who came and got Rick. They're not important to the story at all. Surely they're not. Surely they're not important, right?
Alright, but Zazu now out into the wild, into the open world, and I don't know now if they're going to be on the same route for this. I know Zazu is playing Inventorless. I don't know if Doid will also be doing that.
I'm
But I
not
suppose
sure
we
what
will
Doid
find
be
out.
doing. But I do know that we are, if only Zazu's route, we are heading to get our first companion traveler, which is
Do be gentle. Oh dear.
I don't have the route pulled up. I assume it's Oswald.
it is Oswald. Oswald, yep. So it looks like they are going to go get Oswald as well. Oswald is
Does make
the
sense.
I suggest you get
Oswald
out of my way.
is the scholar of this game, and also how we get evasive maneuvers in this game.
Yes, which is a very, very important passive that reduces the encounter rate of enemies on the overworld, so... And less encounters is faster, so it's very good.
Do be gentle. Where was I?
So you're going to see Zazu going into locations and then immediately leaving them. That's just, it's called tagging, so we can immediately get back to the location that we just got to. So, it looks like Zazu is actually using the Black Market mod. So we'll probably see Doid also using that mod.
Yes, I believe some runs, people decided ahead of time whether or not we were going to be using Black Market mod or Cat mod. Some runs are going to be using it, some runs aren't throughout the marathon. It will be dependent on the individual run.
Yes, I am very much a fan of the Black Market mod. Oh, it looks like Doid is also using Black Market mod.
Yes. It should be agreed on between the runners, I believe, whether or not they will be using it.
Fire. Burn. This wasn't in my calculations. To work.
So I'm gonna explain the route a little bit. We are tagging a bunch of locations. So you saw Zazu tag the Arborage. Zazu is now going to go tag the New Delta and then go back to the Anchorage. And we're going to go get our second companion. But we're also going to start chapter 2. So
I should head up
You get out
to
of
kind of
my
grind
way.
here. Get to pick up my favorite character.
They're broken.
Cassie is just a sweet cinnamon roll, okay?
She's amazing. She's also very useful for speedrunning purposes.
Yes,
And
she
conveniently
is.
right there.
Yes. Cassie is an amazing character. Her route is going to be one I will learn here maybe in like a year or so after teacher mode cools out a bit. But we are we're doing a lot of stuff here. We're buying stuff, we're finding out where stuff is, and we are investigating some more. Also, if you watched my GDQ run of Octopath 1, you know the meme chapter 2. We're about to do that here as soon as we're done with this scene. We're going to leave chapter 2.
Goodbye. No more chapter 2.
Yeah, very good thing about this game is like you can start a chapter and then just leave it and power up to get what you need. We are collecting our third and final party, or our third party member for Temenos' campaign, which is Throne. Throne is the thief of the game.
She's also an extremely useful character for speedrunning.
Her and Temenos with their night actions, like, just incredibly powerful.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
You want to take a lot of combat at nighttime when you have these two in your party?
Yes.
Let the experiment begin.
It appears that Zazu has reordered his party to put
Think.
Put Throne up.
yeah, put Throne
Oh.
on top. Yeah.
I respect it.
Goodness, what a tantrum that was.
Ooh, we are getting into the cog roulette, so
Alright.
this is something that can happen. We okay. You got it. We're good.
Okay, that's
We're
fine.
out.
That's good. Yeah, every time you try to steal an item with Throne, it's only a percentage chance of succeeding, and there's a couple different points in a lot of runs of Octopath where we're trying to steal items with pretty low percentages. That cog there is 55%, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So you can accidentally steal the other thing that he has as a 3% chance and actually get it first try and not get the 55% chance. Trust me, it's happened to me before. All right, so we're doing some exploration. We're going to tag other chapters. We're also going to get some levels on these characters to get some JP for these characters, especially Oswald, so we can go ahead and get that evasive maneuvers that we were talking about earlier. We're going to get evasive maneuvers. We're going. I'll forget everything else that we're getting. Evasive maneuvers is the important thing, though.
Come and get me.
Yeah, this is the part of the run where we
What
kind of
to
hit up
do?
all of the different parts of the map, all the places we need to go, collect all the items we need to get, and yes, of course, experience and JP.
And we're caught by surprise.
Where was I?
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Marvelous.
What? And so it goes.
Looks like Zazu is going to try and salvage this because we are going first next turn, so that actually helps. And we are on Doit's screen.
You are a poison that must be purged. My turn.
Okay, looks like Zazu got out. Okay, hey, we have the team names over there.
Appears that.
Oh, beautiful.
Frost. I've seen worse methods.
Life is too precious to risk.
So yeah, there's Zazu getting that evasive maneuvers up.
I've gained valuable insight.
So now we can run farther and get less encounters. That's the important thing for this. We can now speed run faster.
I love speedrunning faster. It's really the name of the game.
Yes, and we just saw Zazu also save and quit out here. This resets our step counter, so that way we can speed run faster without getting less encounters. Especially in this highly dangerous area here.
Yeah, this is an extremely high level zone, and it's also, I believe, pretty difficult not to get an encounter on this screen. But Zazu gets through it just fine.
Yes.
And Doid will be right on the tail.
So now we're heading Crackwitch Way. We are heading to Temenos' one of Temenos' Chapter 3 locations. I believe we will also be picking up the merchant job while we're out here. I believe we use merchant in this category. It's been a while since I've ran it.
My turn.
I assume so, yes.
Whoa!
I need a plan.
It is a pretty good source of damage for speedrunning because of hired help, which lets you pay money to do damage instead of, using your actual attack stats. Which means we can take on boss fights very underleveled.
Yeah, we are definitely using merchant here because we're on the money route. So yeah.
Are you my next patient? Huh? Eat this.
Also, disrespect leaving Temenos on the floor there from Zazu.
You're welcome. That's that. Oh, goodness. The tantrum
Don't you know that this is his story? Why leave him on the floor and not let him get the JP that he needs? See, retribution here.
Ah, punished. Still salvaging it though, despite the surprise, which is nice.
Yes,
Poison
very
that
much
must
so.
be purged. My turn. Eat this.
I need a plan. Use this.
A
No,
new
the
beginning
one other
of
beautiful thing about this Crack Ridge route for Temenos,
Now's our chance. Take this. How weak. I've
There's
gained
no big
valuable
hunt here.
insight.
It's true. There's no pig hunt. Thank goodness for that.
but we do see Zazu getting surprised here again.
Oh no.
Hey, is this one salvageable? I'm not sure it is.
I don't know if he has any olives left at this point.
Let the
So-
experiment begin.
It
Oh,
might not be.
there's one olive.
There's one olive left.
I take what I want.
Though it also could be a case of not necessarily needing the...
Oh!
I don't know. Ooh, that's unfortunate.
That, yeah.
That is really unfortunate. Unfortunately, I'm not like familiar enough with the experienced JP route in this to know whether or not it's necessary to kill every single encounter. But I'm assuming it is, given the attempt to salvage.
Yeah. But with that,
That is.
Doid has taken a lead.
Yeah, Doid got through that whole screen just completely clean while Sazu was struggling with the ambushes the whole
What
time.
to do?
Just plowing on ahead towards Montwise, which is then the route to get to Stormhail, which is where the other Chapter 3 for Temenos' story takes place. So we need to go there eventually.
So sorry.
Cleaning time.
Yep. Doid is caught by surprise that this one is
All
a
tidied
bit lower
up.
level. And also easier to clean
Yes.
Let's play.
Take this. You're finished. I've gained valuable insight.
So all this switch, so our runners expertly switch it from night to day. Also, I just noticed that Doid also has Fernate in the front of their party.
I wonder, is there... Well, I mean, there must be a reason for it then, unless they're just, like, trolling us a little bit. But I don't... I wouldn't know the intricacies of the exact route.
I would want to say it's so that way the steel is
Now
on
go.
top, and we don't have to make use of
That-
it.
So it goes.
That does make sense, yes.
So we're gonna have an interesting Stormhail route here to pick up a few items. So this is a very dangerous screen for our runners here. They're gonna have to go behind this crack in the wall. Hope not to get ambushed, like I was about to say.
Not this like this.
Yeah, this is a very dangerous screen for this very reason.
Yeah, and there's just absolutely nothing you can do about it. This is a extremely high level area because it's very late game.
If you want to play it safer and not as fast, you can walk most of the screen
This isn't ideal.
to get just.
Again! That's
Yeah.
really unfortunate.
That's a good miss. Ooh, that was actually never mind.
Ooh.
Never mind.
Oh,
Oh, can Doid salvage this? Okay, those are some misses. So
Hang in there.
try.
Never fall to the
We
right
go first.
road.
We go first next. So we could try and flee here,
Here you go.
Another chance.
unless we're going to actually.
Stop.
Yeah.
Swiss.
This
Okay, so obviously taking the safety save outside of here in case of ambush. So,
Sleep comes.
okay, so obviously we might have a slight advantage here. So we're paying the wind now. We have guards helping us. Zazu's gonna go behind this wall. Nope. Huh? Wait. Did the route change since I last ran this? Cause usually you would go. Oh, there is a lot that's changed. Cause usually we would go behind that wall and then climb that ladder to get the item there.
Micah. Now
Okay.
go.
no, it's not. It's been a while since I've run this as well. I'm not familiar with the changes.
Yeah, there's definitely route changes.
Assumedly, it's also experience points and JP points that are needed potentially out of these fights if you're trying to salvage it that bad. That you want the kill rather than just getting away from it.
Yes. I will say, we haven't seen the cape yet, so...
Yeah.
Also, we're
like
finally
my
going to
dog.
finish Chapter 2
we
here.
need a plan. Take this.
After all of this, we can finally come back.
I've seen
But
worse
that is
things.
how a lot of Octopath runs go. You spend a lot of time sort of just running around, preparing, picking things up, and then come back and sweep through all the chapters in one go.
Yes, we have a huge menu here. It's fine. Don't worry about anything that happened.
Lots of thievery happening.
But now we get into the actual chapter 2 area. So we have to figure out who is behind all the stuff that's happening here. To get information, and oh, it's this guy. So we got a move called we got a staff move for Temenos that hits twice in one attack. We boost with Temenos with staff, and then staff again. There's a lot of staff in this run. If you didn't know that.
Yes, we get to make our way into the dungeon for the second chapter now. Finally.
We're on a boat.
We are on a boat.
Very well. How's that for you? So sorry. Oh dear. You won't believe that. Where was I? You won't believe that.
Alright, we are heading to the next boss, like the actual boss. We are fighting Vados, the person that we coerced in the very first chapter. So I love this fight because it shows off exactly just how powerful your characters are right now. One big axe swing from Cassie, and then Berne's ability that lets her deal a whole exponential amount of damage the further up in the her order she is, and Vados is down.
No mercy. All poison slap it had to be done. My journey will not end here.
Oh, and down on Doid's screen as well. They're actually quite close. It's been this whole time.
So we're doing more investigation stuff. There's been a murder.
Oh no! Whatever shall we do?
Oh no, also Cricket's fine.
He's fine, yeah.
Crick's just getting some knowledge for us. Crick is fine. Nothing happens to Crick. Don't worry about it. So Zazu here does do the rest because it will max out all your stuff, including your latent power. So that's going to be useful here in a sec. Also, don't worry about it. Crick is just using his inner Jedi to astral project to you. So nothing was wrong.
Yeah, totally. That makes perfect sense to me.
He's astral projecting. Everything's fine. So we are getting into the more dangerous areas of the game. So we'll see. We should see a bit more walking here. So yeah, it's gonna be fine. So they did have to go through the cutscene there to be able to get that that light L soulstone, because it would not load in otherwise. Ooh, and Zazu is caught by surprise.
Yeah, this is
And
another
this is
scary,
bad.
scary place to get. Yeah, there it is. This is again pretty high level area, so getting ambushed here is almost certainly a death sentence.
Yes. So until they get to save point, your closest reset point is right outside
Out
the
of
track.
my way.
Yeah, thankfully this game is pretty generous with the autosaves, so wiping is not usually too bad.
All tidied up.
It seems we have another lead change.
Oh yeah, just barely.
And Doyle has made it to the save point. Doing all their menuing and safety save. Ruby, as I like to call her. She's a Pokemon. Ruby's a Pokemon. Don't worry about it. You do
Bend your
not,
beak, Crow.
unless Uriah has changed again, you do not want to go into this fight at night. And they went into this fight at night. Okay.
Thinking time.
I said, unless Uriah has changed again.
Use this.
You have healing hands. Mike, watch me. You're open. Sorry, but I won't hold back. Heavy-footed, aren't you? No mercy.
Incredible how synchronized this is.
Feel my wrath. You know what to do. I've gained
Look at this
valuable
fight.
insight.
There it is.
Wow, and we are like really close.
It really, the whole, I mean, the whole run has been quite close, but it's just incredibly neck and neck right now. So, see how things go in the next two more chapters.
Yeah, this next chapter
Get
is
through.
not a boss chapter. Each character in this has a non-boss chapter. It's more of a story progression chapter, and this is a story progression chapter that they're going through right now.
Shout out some of the dialogue in this chapter, if you know, you know.
Experiments begin.
Yep.
Here I go. Axe attacks have to be done. I know no cure for evil.
Lee Doy was checking their JP to see if they can get stuff. I don't think they had enough JP yet.
Time to clean up the filth.
Axe attacks. Forgive me.
I love Cassie's big axe swing. Just obliterating everything. In fact, that's the name of the move, isn't it? No, it's not late. Obliterate? I don't use Cassie's actual moves that much.
It doesn't come up in very many runs that you see, yeah, the apothecary skills actually get used. She's more the concoct is the big thing that she's used in most runs.
Yes, which she does use it at the end of this run once.
The all-important abating orb glitch.
Yes, we'll get there here in a sec, because we're almost there. We're almost to the end of the run. So Detective Temenos has uncovered the mystery here. And we're going to go stop Caldina. Looks like, was Zazu low on JP?
Oh, I'm not sure. I missed it. I was watching Doid's screen.
Yeah, Zazu went and took another encounter.
Oh.
So we're heading to the Forbidden, or we're heading to.
My
Oh no. Okay.
Now go.
Okay, we have guards. We have enough money for guards. We're good. And now we should have enough JP for Hang Tough here. Hang Tough allows you to take lethal damage to survive one hit, 1 HP. 1 HP in a dream is all you need.
Important to I assume that's part of the fact that this is an inventorless route, that they need to have Hang Tough on everybody, which is the thing that's making the JP route so tight.
So we are coming up on the very end of this run. Lloyd is heading towards Galnina, walking very slowly, hoping to get to that same point. Dude, using the rarely seen talk to people action.
I love that that's something you can do in this game, that activating travel banter can be used to reset your steps. That's beautiful tech that exists.
And Doid is to Caldina. Caldina is a wonderful person who deserves everything that they get.
And done.
Watch me. I'll take this.
This isn't good. Here you go.
Thank you. On your knees.
This... I have a talent for making do.
On your knees.
Doid being blinded here, not a good thing.
Yeah, there was a miss on something earlier. I didn't catch exactly what it was, but I assume this is... Yeah, you gotta just throw it and reset the fight.
Yep, exactly what you gotta do.
Dare you? Only death leaves a fool. Not bad. Not like this.
But that does allow Zazu a chance to just catch up a little bit.
It comes down. It's gonna come down to who gets the final boss first, I think.
Yeah, Caldina is, like I said, is a wonderful person who deserves everything that they deserve.
My turn. As swift as... What to do? I'll take this.
Here you go.
Ooh, that's us not good. 3 out of 4 characters getting
On your knees.
blinded. That's not good.
This will teach you.
Calculations and done.
As playtime is
Okay,
over.
we got the break.
Now go.
We could be out of here.
Now go.
Here you go.
I owe you. Playtime is over. Now go.
I believe that's a fight with this final bat. Oh,
Take this.
so. There we go.
Yeah, that
Prepare
was...
yourself.
Another soul song.
Where was I? You're welcome. That's how it's done.
And another soul song. There we go. That's fine.
Another one. There it is, yes. And Zazu's also just right behind here, just literally a few turns
Yes.
behind. Got the break first try. No troubles with getting blinded.
And that is time for
that is
Doid.
time.
GG Doid. Oh no, do we not get to Forget Me Do?
Oh
I
no!
don't think Zazu got to Forget Me Do. So this is why Concoct is very important. To skip this.
Oh dear.
So Zazu just wanted to show what happened whenever you don't Forget Me Do.
That could also have been damage range cases. I know there are some boss fights where unfortunate damage rolls means that you just don't kill.
Yeah. Oh, there's sticky powder.
No, still not enough. That is really unfortunate.
He used sticky powder. Okay, there's a fight.
Poison kill. Okay, yeah, there it is. That's incredible.
Wow.
Okay, well done.
That's great. And Tom is going to be
GG.
coming up here. Todd.
That's time for
GG.
as well, yes.
That,
Brilliant.
I will say, that's scary. That's a scary way to end the fight, but I'll take it.
That is a little bit terrifying, yes, but it's also very cool. Well done, Zazu, for getting that. And well done to Doid as well for winning the race. Yeah, GG. I believe that will be the end of this one. We will have a small little break here before we're going to be moving over to Ophilia. Run done also by Doid.
Yeah, so stick around. We'll be back.
Wonderful. Excellent. Hello everyone. Hope you enjoyed that Temenos bit of running. Now for something entirely different. We're over in Octopath Traveler 1, and unfortunately the first exposure in this event to Octopath 1 is going to be through a bunch of glitches. This is a major glitched category for this, which is not as commonly run, but it's a neat thing to be showing off here as well. I'll be the runner as well here for today. I'm joined by a co-commentator.
Hey, I'm Arno. I'm mostly retired from the game, but I like glitches.
Hey, glad to have you here. be explaining some of the glitches as we go along. Right after this, there's a glitch exhibition as well, so we'll have that to explain a few more things. But yeah, it's going to be quite the spectacle. Ophilia, single story in particular, is going to be a route that can do a whole lot of nonsense.
Yeah, very flashy.
Alright, well, I'm all set to get started. Yeah, we'll count it off. 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, have fun to myself. Alright, so what are the major glitches in this game? Well, there are things that can transfer between files. They can open up 2 files at once, transfer things one file to another, warp across the map, a whole bunch of things. And we'll be seeing one pretty much immediately. In fact, most glitch runs are very front-loaded with their glitches. After that, they become a bit more normal looking. Although Ophilia in particular keeps doing some glitches throughout the run, which is kind of why we're showcasing it here today. So everything pretty normal at the start here. We're just playing through Ophilia Chapter 1, but at some point we're gonna get this autosave on the next screen that we're getting to. And hopefully my audio is not too badly desynced. I think that will be the case. I'm probably commenting before things happen. But yeah, we're going to be taking an autosave and setting up something called double title screen, where we open up 2 files at once. And because glitches transfer between files, these glitch states, we're going to be opening up, creating new files, saving them, doing a whole bunch of things. So right after starting an Ophilia file for the run, that's our main file, we're going to be setting something up over in OT1. And that's just because it's a convenient place to set up glitches. It's going to be a lot that happens right here. I'm going to do my best to do a general overview of what's happening, but we're buffering our way out of bounds. We're going to fall off the world. As we're falling, we open up the menu, watch something, start a cutscene. While we're in the middle of another cutscene, we broke the event handling system. Returning a title, we're carrying a text box with us. Because the event handling system is broken, we can use that text box to watch something in the journal from the title screen, and that creates a brand new layer of title screen. And this is called double title screen. It's the major glitch of the game. It does a whole bunch of things. In particular, though, we're going to be starting off just to warp around. And here we go with yet another new file, a Cyrus file. We're going to take that original Ophilia file and warp it over to Cyrus's starting town, and we're using that with this new Cyrus file that we've got going on here. It's going to look a little funky for a moment. Still. Oops, a little slow on that there. We'll back out one step. I'll also say there's lots of ways to mess up glitches, and you have to be a little bit careful with setting things up, but yes, lots of ways the controls can lock up with these double layer stuff. But there we go, that's major glitches. We've warped Ophilia over into Alistam. And fundamentally, there's 3 things that the glitches in this game, the major glitches, get used for. Warps is a big one. Item duplications is another. And skipping things like Chapter 1s is another. In fact, we just came from Octopath 2, where you don't even have to play recruited character Chapter 1s. But in Octopath 1, you normally have to do that. But with glitches, we're going to be able to avoid that. And just because there's a lot going on, I guess I'll just keep commenting through this. There's yet another strange thing going on there. Ordinarily, in an Octopath 1 speedrun, you would not hear the story from start when recruiting a character, but because of a certain item duplication that we're going to do way down the line, we're starting Cyrus' story from the beginning. We're in a sort of pre-recruitment state. We're going to basically recruit 2 characters at once, and that duplicates our items later. But we're just progressing a little bit through Cyrus' story. This is actually only to unlock Scrutinize, which is right here. I'm returning to title.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, you can field questions from the audience as they might come up. There's a little bit of a glitch there. I'll bring it up again later because it gets more prominent use then. But that was Void State, where we were able to warp out of Alistam back into Alistam. But yeah, if there's any questions in chat, feel free to ask them anytime, and we can see if we can get some answers.
I'll relay.
Alright, one last consequence of everything we've been doing is that, well, we can't return to title because we opened up title screen, things got broken a little bit too much. We have to fully reset the game every once in a while, and so that's what this screen here is. It's just Octopath restarting.
Though it is going to be restarting the game from time to time to get into a clean state.
And that does mean we're setting up yet another glitch. Back over in Haunted 1, we made a save while we were in Haunted 1 to make things a little bit faster on the next setup. Although it looks a little different, we have to watch something in the journal first, and then do that whole out-of-bounds stuff. Has to reset our spawn location. Just a minor detail there. But yeah, we're buffering past that sign with a thing called buffer glitch, falling off the world. Our respawn location's inside of the sign, so we have the sign text box open, and that's what we see on the title screen for a moment here. And because we have that event active, we tried to trigger a second event, it broke the event handling system. Again, yeah, there we go. Sorry, I messed that up for a moment there. The demonstration that comes after this, we'll be able to get into a few more details than I'm able to get to here. Alright, so we warped to get Cyrus. Cyrus is useful for evasive maneuvers, like the scar we saw in Octopath 2. Evasive maneuvers great for evading encounters, but didn't get us really far on the map. The next location we're going is all across the world, over to Primrose. So yet another one of those warps.
How did you figure that out? Is a question in chat. So Doid is the main, I think, glitch hunter for this game. He's found most of these glitches. Probably you explain that in the glitch exhibition later.
Yeah, so yeah, this has been a long process of glitch discovery, so we've had slower methods for a long time as well. It just gets refined over time. But yes, majorly broke the game back in, I think, 2020. And I went on a spree of finding a whole bunch of uses of these double title screens. The other major contributor to glitches has been Doas, a Japanese runner, who around that time found some other glitches relating to these sorts of things, double title screen. But yeah, a lot of the major breakthroughs were myself back around that time. And they've continued to even find a few more glitches through the years as well. Some are more useful than others, as you might imagine, but there's actually a huge amount of things that double title screen can do. Opening two files at once, transferring one thing to another file is the gist of it, but you can do a whole lot with that. Alright, I haven't been talking about the gameplay for a little bit, but what we're doing is getting evasive maneuvers, and we're doing that just by killing encounters with soulstones, kind of what we saw in Octopath 2. We're going to have to kill 2 encounters in this cave. Hopefully it doesn't go badly. This is an easy cave to die in. 74% of encounters we can kill with an L stone, or an M stone I mean. If I learn Blizzard right here though, I can push that up to 79%. Still, if I get caught by surprise, I'm dead anyway, so we have to hope a little bit. That seems like we're pretty good on luck. No surprise. Perfect. Excellent. I was worried about this one. That's kind of an annoying part of this run, is getting evasive maneuvers. But we've got it.
Because the gameplay is happening so far from Atlas Dam, the Kate mod is not useful for this run. So it's a bit more volatile at the beginning.
Yeah. Also, just enjoy, because we have glitches to warp anywhere, it's kind of fun to find these alternative ways of learning evasive maneuvers. In normal runs, the alternative to Kate mod is usually Whistlewood, which is right next to where Kate mod gives the Kate anyways. But yeah, over in glitches, we have to go to strange places like Wisdom Cavern, which way back when in early history of the game was used a little bit in Ulbrich for a time to get some EM on Ulbrich and Scholar Shrine routes early there, but not anything recent has been done with that. Alright, well, just like most runs we'll see with Octopath 1, and probably more so Octopath 1 than Octopath 2, the next thing we're going to do is go around a whole lot of places, tagging towns, collecting resources that we can use for the rest of the run. Octopath 2 has pretty cheap hired help and resources in little amounts throughout the whole story progression. You don't have to go too far out of the way. A lot of Octopath 1 runs wind up getting things pretty far out of the way, going out to optional dungeons and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to now, but as we're doing that, we're going to be tagging towns that we need for Ophilia's story. We're heading our way over to Gold Shore right now.
It's a good time to explain why you're not recruiting characters right now.
Yeah, so I've tagged 2 towns, Sunshade and Cobblestone. We are going to later recruit some characters from those. However, we're going to be able to skip those Chapter 1s with something called Void State. It's just a consequence of doing double title screen. Although, once we've started into their chapters, we can't exit their town, so we want to make sure we do all the exiting of towns before any of that happens. And unfortunately, this encounter is not very tenable. And this pretty rare that you get it coming from this screen. But I think I got a little distracted and veered towards Warrior Shrine. Got some other ones today that would go to Warrior Shrine, but not this one. But yeah, we're going to pick up the characters later. Yes, we could get them now, but I wanted to be able to leave Cobblestone as soon as I start recruiting Ulbrich. Yes, I can skip his Chapter 1, but I wouldn't be able to leave Cobblestone once I started recruiting him, because it locks us into the Chapter 1 town. And there's the encounter again. It's going great here.
Oh no. Take a save next time, maybe?
Yeah, we could definitely safety save. Usually this direction from Cobblestone towards Goldshore is usually really safe on this. We'll make the safety save.
This game doesn't like usualies. Yeah, so we're still doing Cyrus's Chapter 1. That is why we have Cyrus at the moment. But because of the glitch, we can escape any Chapter 1s. So we're left with Cyrus. And that is to set up for a glitch.
Yeah, so this whole time... Yeah, it'll be coming up in a little bit. But yeah, going on here, we're in Ophilia single story. We do have to do Ophilia chapters. Where's Ophilia? Well, we had to recruit Cyrus, and since we heard it from the beginning, it's just Cyrus for a little bit. But the reason we picked Cyrus is because he can get evasive maneuvers, and in this pre-recruitment state where we heard his story from the beginning, there's not a lot we can do with other characters. We can't recruit, or... No, well, we can recruit, but we can't put on sub-jobs, and we don't want to recruit for other reasons. So we have to manage our way with Cyrus for quite a while. But the benefit of hearing Cyrus's story from the beginning is going to be a full inventory item duplication, which is a very powerful form of duplications. Everything in our inventory, our money, our soul stones, are going to get duplicated. So that'll help us with a huge amount of resource scattering. Now, unfortunately, we did have to hear Cyrus' story from the beginning, which cost like 1 minute, especially getting up to Scrutinize point. But 1 minute to get what's going to be a whole inventory of items is faster than walking somewhere else on the map to go get those same items. Now, this isn't actually the fastest route. In fact, the fastest route doesn't even want those item duplications, but it's the safer route, so we're doing it. So a little bit why the whole inventory is going to get duplicated. When you recruit a character in this game, and let's just take the example where you hear their story from the beginning, your current inventory, as you're recruiting the character, gets saved kind of off to the side for a moment. So for example, Ophilia recruited Cyrus, and Ophilia had a little bit in her inventory, but we didn't collect anything at that point, so not much. That got saved off to the side, and that's how it's supposed to normally behave. What happens if you recruit a character while in a pre-recruitment state, like Cyrus currently is? If we recruit a second character, it's going to save Cyrus's inventory off to the side. But because we're already in pre-recruitment state, it doesn't actually reset our inventory when we do that. When we recruited Cyrus, we got a brand new inventory here. But if we recruit a second character, since we're already in the pre-recruitment state, we're going to keep our inventory. And so the inventory off to the side is going to be a copy of our current inventory, and we get to keep our current inventory. And then when we conclude recruitment, we get both. So it fully duplicates our inventory. Getting a whole bunch of extra encounters. It's tough times over in Octopath Land. Alright.
Oh,
I haven't gotten this one in any of my practices recently.
Only once. It's very rare.
Unfortunately, I don't have many resources to kill these at the moment, and any of the items that I spend right now, like a soul stone, is also cutting into 2 soul stones out of my account, so ideally I don't have to spend any extras, but I think I'm going to pick up some extras just in case things keep going awry throughout this run. If I were to pick up a soul stone and spend it here, it's like spending 2 soul stones on an encounter, which is not great. Because anything I have right now is going to get duplicated, so I want to gather as much as I can and not spend it, ideally. But I'm going to be picking up some extra soul stones right here on these 2 screens, which I don't ordinarily have to get. If you get a Kate, you certainly don't have to get these. These are helpful in a few different ways. Okay, just some extras. We're over near this Grand Port screen. This is a commonly looted screen. It's nearby Goldshore for our chapters. Goldshore is one of Ophilia's chapters. So we'll be coming back to it later. But this screen in particular has a lot of money. Now, something I've mentioned a few times is that we can't actually return to title. Ordinarily on screens like these, you'd save and quit. We can't do that. We're in something called Void State, which we're going to still want to use later. And so we just have to die to these encounters. Or maybe we can flee them, but that's like 10% chance of happening.
The void state, that's the flaw of void state. That's the glitch that lets us escape from chapter 1s.
Yeah. We'll be seeing that very soon. We're nearly done with all the looting. The general strategy for this route in particular is going to be gathering a huge amount of resources and just throw it at bosses constantly. And we're going to even reclaim some of those resources that we spend. It's going to be just a huge amount of spending on bosses, excessive even, but it's kind of unique in that.
But believe me, it's even flashier than what you've seen so far.
Yeah, there's going to be some other weird stuff that'll start happening in Chapter 2 and Chapter 3. Alright, one last bit of looting, and then we're done, and we can start getting into stories. Alright, we've gotten all of the inventory that we need. I'll make note of it before we clone it, just so we can kind of show that off getting cloned, or duplicated. We do have to, before we recruit Primrose, go to one last town out of Sunshade, so we're doing that now. We're going over to Ophilia's Chapter 2 town, Saints Bridge.
Because again, we're not doing any chapter 1s except Ophilia's, that's mandatory. So as soon as we recruit Primrose, this exit will be close to us.
Yeah, the Primrose is admittedly a rather quick chapter to complete, but, well, in fact, we're not even going to be recruiting Prim in full. If you're Primrose friends, I have some bad news coming up. Alright, we're taking some safety saves as well. Alright, that's all of our tagging. Time to duplicate our inventory. And we're going to do that using, well, Primrose. So we're currently in a pre-recruitment state. As we recruit Primrose, we're going to save our inventory off the side, but then still keep it, and that will clone it. Looking at my money right now, I have 53,000. Let's go recruit Primrose. And we don't have to hear this one from start. It still does the whole splitting and merging things, no matter how we do this. Primrose is here for a moment. Ophilia is back. Oh, but Primrose is gone, so consequence of that is we didn't actually recruit Primrose and all of that. And we duplicate our money and our soul stones in exchange. I'm going to return to title here. This is using Void State. We can't actually escape Sunshade right there, but if we return to title, it takes us to an empty map, and you can warp from the empty map plenty fine. Fast travel gets locked on a per-screen basis. If we're in Sunshade, or just in the moment, if we're in Cobblestone, while the stories are active, we can't fast travel out of them, but if we're anywhere else, we can. And returning to title takes us to an empty map, so we make use of that. So I'm returning to title, because things are broken still. This is the Void. I'm going to show the Void for a moment. We're falling through the Void. But from the Void, you can work
notice on the TV screens that the Void is in the middle of the map.
Yeah, the default location is just kind of in the middle of the map. Probably just 0, on that screen. It's nothing too special. It's an empty screen where you fall indefinitely.
Yeah, there's gravity in this 2D game.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, there is gravity where you fall. Nowhere in Octopath normal gameplay do you actually fall off anything. In Octopath 1 nor 2. You always go down slopes and steps and stuff.
Yeah, I assume they just use the gravity to snap you to floors. And they use Unreal Engine, it has probably some gravity logic built in.
Yeah, certainly. But yeah, there's never a moment where you can fall and do things at the same time, which is kind of the exploit that we do when we fall off the world. In Haunted 1, we're able to open a menu and fall at the same time, which is like moving and having a menu open, which is pretty neat. Wow, yet another encounter. Great stuff. We'll break it.
Oh, by the way, I have quite a bit of stream delay, so when you need silent time, please say it out loud.
Okay. Yeah,
I will not notice.
Yeah, I'm not sure how my audio is syncing up with the stream side as well. Hopefully it hasn't been too terrible, but I'm giving kind of general explanations after the fact anyway, so I'm sure it's been fine. Alright, we're finally getting into Ophilia Chapter 1, completing it. We've collected EM, we've gotten a bunch of soul stones. This is going to be very fast. We're just getting through the mandatory fight, Ophilia's Guardian is still considering us having one character. So if you recruit more characters, the Chapter 1 bosses get stronger, but this is still thinking we have one character, because we haven't completed any Chapter 1 stories. That's really what gives you the progression on that. And so we can just chuck on Large Soulstone and the boss is dead. Alright, that's Ophilia 1. And we're actually just going to be rapid firing Ophilia's other chapters pretty much back to back. One moment where we have to walk a little bit, but not much. Here the game tells us to go recruit other characters. Noted duly game. Always good to have those tutorials. Alright, we're right into Ophilia 2. Ophilia 2, we're going to progress pretty normally for a moment. One thing that's a little bit RNG is that we're going to get to is the bridge troll, where we have to scrutinize for 30%. And then, to make our way to the boss, we're going to be using a glitch, which gets into our next sort of use of things. We've collected a lot of resources, but because it's pretty efficient in this... It seems stream went down or something, or paused. I was just looking for a moment. Not sure if there's an issue there. Maybe just a resync. Alright, here we are with Bridge Troll. See if we can get the Bridge Troll. If not, there's some backup money we can get. Alright, so the Bridge Troll was mean. We'll get some backup money. It's a spectacular run with no flaws.
Oh, so you get to see Octopath thing.
Alright, progressing with Ophilia 2, as I was saying a little bit earlier, Ophilia's convenience is that she has some long dungeon screens leading up to her bosses, and with double title screen movement we can cut down on that a bit. And as we're doing so, we're going to be able to do what's called a resource reclaim. We're going to basically take the boss completion from one file onto a file that still has its resources that would have been spent on that boss. So if we spend a bunch of resources on a boss, we can then transfer the progress that we get having completed the boss onto an earlier file and work from that. I remind myself to actually get hired help. Now, the weird part that's kind of the spectacle of this run is that we're going to do some double title screen movement, which gets a little wild. We're full resetting the game, we're going to do another double title screen setup. We're going to be moving around while in double title screen a whole lot and navigating our way all the way to the boss. Now, you don't have to do that for a resource reclaim, but because it's a little bit faster than walking, then we're going to do that. Now, of course, not doing any double title screen, it is faster to walk through those screens, but it just makes the resource reclaim cost less time for us. And so we get a lot of resources for even less time. So here we are, setting up double title screen again. And this version of double title screen is actually going to be slightly different. It's going to be the fast version of it. We couldn't do that for warps because it retains a glitch state called journal state. But for these, we don't need to do that. Now, that said, I need to focus and get a specific timing for press here. There we are, plenty fine. And it just is a little bit faster to set up double title screen that way, since we're able to do that for this usage. The earlier usages couldn't use this fast setup. Alright, and now we get to do double title screen movement. We're going to see a little bit in the background there. And we're going to be navigating in the game and in the title screen at the same time to manipulate things in a lot of ways. We're going to become tangible, intangible based on that. Currently out of bounds. I messed up things a little bit with the tangibility there. Went a little fast. But we're doing fine. Fall off the world. We set our respawn location to be over by the far side of the screen. Navigate in the dark a little bit there. And between these, moving around. What was that question there?
Oh, no, I was just saying, yeah, you get a little bit of time to see your movement, and then the second title screen, the one that hasn't started a game, shows up again. And during that time, you tend to be intangible, as Doid was saying. You can go through things, and that's how we fell out of the map earlier.
Alright, so here we are in Ophilia's Chapter 2 boss. And we have excess resources, so we're going to be spending a whole bunch of stuff on this unnecessarily. Anything we spend on this fight, we just get back for free. Well, not for free, but with this glitch setup. And the work missed it. And we lived. We're probably fine.
Doid is completely desensitized to this, but yeah, this doesn't look normal, but it's really easy to navigate because all the information you need is on the UI. So you can just do the fight by looking at who's on top.
Alright, that's lethal. So we kill the boss, and then we're going to reopen that file from earlier, and take the progress of completing the boss, including the rewards from it, for all the money it gives, and XP and JP and stuff, over onto that file from earlier. And we can include that double player screen stuff.
I promise this is not as difficult as it looks. In fact, the single story glitched runs are pretty easy. You should come and play them. It's fun.
Many of them have easier variants as well, if you ever need them. Double title screen movement is among the most advanced glitches, so no worries about those, but yeah, that's probably the extremes of what you might have to see in these.
Yeah, later this week, actually, tomorrow, I'll be running Alphin Glitched. It's a much tamer run, if you want something a bit more introductory.
Alright, just buying some resources there. Scrutinizing the person on the bridge unlocked the ability to buy empowering bracelets from that shop there, and so we go and do that. I'll have to double check that I'm not short on money. Yeah, we're fine, just enough. Even with spending that extra 8k, we're going to make up that 8k in a moment. But I haven't sold items yet, so could have been a little behind. Ah, but we get plenty here.
So to recap, we have like everything that we got with Cyrus has been duplicated, money items. We then spend them on the boss, Rodvitnir, and we got them back. So we still have them. We still have like everything, I think.
Yep, basically everything.
Everything out of the boss.
We've spent a large soulstone on Ophilia one, and that's about it.
Here you go.
But yeah, it keeps us from having to go very far. We barely touched anything for resources, and also because we have a surplus of resources, we also can pretty much cheap out on jobs and stuff. We only got merchant, and that's it. And that's going to be enough because we're able to splurge on some of those fight strats.
Yeah, so that's the particularity of glitch runs. And not only do you not do any chapter ones that you don't absolutely have for the category, but also you get to collect much less items and money before the gameplay.
Here's a fun little bit of paying attention. We're about to go towards Whispermill. Okay, this final chapter. Can anyone predict what's going to happen as we walk that way? This can be a fun prediction. What have we missed so far? Well, the solution's coming up right as I'm speaking. I don't know where the video is. But it's Kit the Traveler. We still haven't seen Kit. Anyhow, that's a fun quirk of doing glitches. We never exited Ophilia Chapter 1, or really any Chapter 1 town after completing a Chapter 1, and so we never saw Kit. We're on our way. We're going to pick up a curious antique over in Noble Court that we normally wouldn't pick up, but I think that will have to do for our backup money. It'll be a little bit excess, but that'll be fine. we're going to make our way over to Ophilia's final chapter. That'll be our last bit of walking around. There'll be one more glitch setup, and just a few more bosses. And as I said earlier, this one has a few glitches going on throughout, but many of them are just very front-loaded with glitches. I just realized it's in sequence, so I think this through correctly. Let's walk out of this town. Anyhow, but yeah, a lot of them are very front-loaded glitches. You usually just warp maybe once or twice, and that's about it. The rest, it doesn't require double title screen setups, because you'll just use Void State to skip Chapter 1s, or you'll use the fact that you have access to Void State to do some Chapter 1 duplications with that full inventory duplication. Resource reclaims are not very common in routes. Usually you can just get excessive on duplicating your whole inventory, and that's enough. But because Ophilia can do some double title screen walking, she likes doing those as well.
In longer runs. So the thing is, every time you have to do double title screen, you have to exit out of the game. And that's, that costs a bit of time. It needs to be quite worth it. So the longer the run, the more likely it is that you can save time that way. And the Galdera route uses absolutely crazy glitches that we're not seeing today. You end up with 2 sorcerers. It's fantastic. 2 identical sorcerers. It's much more challenging, and you get to do glitches a lot, but mostly on single stories. I don't know if you have routed others with several glitches like that, but
I had encounters today.
Come again? Oh, yeah.
I've had some bad encounters today. Couldn't get the summon flurry there. I'll definitely take a moment to learn skills early. I've been out of sorts a little bit with the backup stuff going on. There we are. Thousand Spear should help a bit. Well, in that case, it's still kind of tenuous.
The end of the run is coming soonish, so I'll remind everybody to stick around for the glitch exhibition after that. That's going to be wild.
Yeah, a few fun extra glitches. That gets to show off a few things that are very speedrun oriented, but still interesting and useful. We'll see what sort of time we wind up with to have for that. Fortunately, I'm just cutting into my own time, so don't feel bad about taking too long in this. Hey, first try flurry. Still needs a counter to get some XP, to use that to live.
Yeah, there's no way to cross the screen without an encounter, I believe.
Yeah. I'm sure we could with some double title screen movement if we were so strongly motivated, but no, nothing good for that. Taking a safety save because I've been having bad luck.
Wait.
Alright, back our way over to Ophilia Chapter 3. Finishing that up. Picking an item here. And just like with Ophilia Chapter 2, she has quite the long run-up into her boss through a dungeon, and so we're going to be doing double title screen movement, as been alluded to. That does mean we're auto-saving right here, and full resetting the game. This is our last double title screen setup, our last major glitch. Oh yeah, one final bit of double title screen movement. And as always, we're setting that up with Haunted 1. Again, Haunted 1 is just the fastest way of setting up double title screen. There's basically no alternative to it. There's some very niche ways of setting it up, but nothing nearly as fast as this. And of course, it transfers between files, which is rather nice. Oops, bad alignment there. Let's just get out of bounds. Fall of the world. Going to be doing the fast setup. Focus and timing. I'm just doing an audio cue with the intro title here and pressing A. Right then. It just behaves differently. There's a lot of things about what layers in control, messing things up, pressing buttons at wrong times can mess things up. to wait quite a while there to make sure I don't press a button early, otherwise things get locked up. And we're again making our way out of bounds. Watching something journal resets our spawn location. We fall off the world as we do that as well. Activating cutscene because we have to.
It is quite remarkable that the game has void planes. Inconvenient.
Here's a bit of an oddity. I opened the path action menu for a moment. It seems like I'm not doing anything, but if you look in the bottom right corner, we can actually see icons moving around. I'm moving towards the boss trigger right now. It's a way of moving around over long distances. If you have a guidable NPC or some other path actions that you can activate anywhere, you can do that. In that case, I made my way all the way over to the boss. Alright, and here we are with Mr. Man, Shady Figure, and again, excessive spending on this fight because we can. This fight's fairly consistent, so nothing too much to worry about. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Maybe we'll miss a lot. It's fine to miss once. It's a little hard to see which character you're selecting when you're throwing items at things as well. So that's the other quirk of this. Alright, good. We didn't miss again. We can take a hit here. And how are we going to break the other one? Well, with just hired help. We have excessive money and resources. We're going to get it back with a resource reclaim. We can just do this sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you have money from Ophilia, so
yep.
That should be no problems.
Soulstone and one more Vets. See those final hits going through there? And right around there. Any time after activating Hard Help, we can do that, but it goes to a lock streams, I usually wait it out. And that's our final resource for claim. Again, we're not spending any resources, we went into that fight with around 60k, and we still have, well, we got some resources after that, I guess it was much more than 60k.
That is finding this run extremely amusing. So the cost of the glitch is that if you do the double title screen part wrong, you might crash your game. So
yeah, controls can lock up really easily. If you're practiced with it, it's consistent. But if you press a button at the wrong moment, the other layer of title screen might take control, and at which point your controls are locked up.
Yeah, there are surprisingly many ways to lock yourself out of your game, but it is again not hard.
Yeah, it's consistent. Just needs a lot of practice, and it's bewildering and very different from normal gameplay, so a bit to get your head around sometimes as well. Let's see where money's at. Alright, we already have access. I'll sell extra anyways. So yeah, here we are in Ophilia Chapter 4, the final chapter in Octopath 1. Since we haven't really talked about that, there's 4 chapters per character. We haven't really been able to talk about Ophilia's story. She's on a pilgrimage to reignite the sacred flame around the continent, the pilgrimage called the Kindling, and saves some kids and gets into some other things along the way. The conversation's mostly been about glitches, but yeah, Ophilia's story nearing its conclusion. We won't get into too many details since we haven't so far.
Also, I think this boss is the only one who has voice acting in the game.
So we'll get a little bit of that. In fact, this is going to be pretty much the full fight for voice acting purposes, so we get to see all of that. It's a curiously long battle. It's just what this route does. It clones a bunch of money, and for anyone who's used to speedruns of Ophilia's Cinco story, the options usually are getting a thief to get armor corrosive and do defense down, because that boosts your hired help vet's damage, or it's using a summon to give defense down. I have neither of those, because I've been cutting out on resources or optional things, but instead I have 5 vets worth of money. Oops, I don't know where I'm going. Alright, let's unequip all. This is mildly faster to unequip, to die a little bit quicker here, because we do have to die one more time. That save point. But yeah, it's a 5 vets Matthias fight, which is something you don't really get to see often. So here again, one last intention left. We still have Void State. We couldn't save and quit there. I unequipped myself to make these decks a little bit faster. It is worth the menu there. There are some routes where you don't even get the bracelets until late, and you can actually strategically do that. You don't have to worry about healing. But yeah, we're going to make our way to this last 30k. That gives us enough for 5 hired help vets. And that'll be enough to take out Matthias. Along with some soulstones. It's a pretty good Matthias fight for consistency's sake, because you don't have to rely on summon RNG. It's got some other oddities. There's always things like, well, we'll talk about double taps. These are the cultists, also known as the comedians, because sometimes they just kill you outright. Let's see how we do. Seems pretty good so far. Yeah, we're fine. A little scary on the Cyrus there, but fine. Breaking them, killing them with soulstones. I should have excess soulstones because I got those backups. Maybe I could do 2 L's here, but we'll play it safe. Sometimes, if we get double tapped in the Matthias fight, we can recover from that if we have an extra L stone. Makes it all nicer. So what is double tap? Well, we have cover on Ulbrich, which saves an ally from physical single target hits when they're at low HP. Unfortunately, Matthias has 2 different moves. One's a physical attack, one's not, and if the physical hit comes first and the elemental one comes second, cover can't do anything for us. The other case is if Ulbrich gets hit with the elemental first, then he can get hit by the physical because he's the only one with cover in this moment. The odds of getting double tapped is 2 9s, so let's see how we do. Alright, physical and Ulbrich, maybe he'll get double tap. He did not. Seems like we're going to be fine. So this fight, again, uses lots of hired help vets. From here, it should be scripted. So we should be doing pretty well overall, assuming I haven't messed anything up. So we can just use hired help vets. Surprisingly, Matthias has very low HP for Chapter 4 bosses. Ordinarily, most Chapter 4 bosses would want a whole lot more than this. But Matthias is weak enough to make this happen. In fact, we can even get double tapped, and a lot of times you can recover this, because we have so many pomegranates. You can make some adaptations that works pretty well. Put reflective prevails on our 2 allies that got hit there. They should be able to survive this Black Gale here. See they're surviving as well. Tracking a little damage. The damage here is actually quite precise. If I actually had 3 L stones, I have 4 L stones, so I guess it's not as precise as it might need to be. With 3 L stones, the damage is pretty much perfect. One last reflective veil. We do have to break one last time here. It is a long fight, but it saves us having to go through hurdles, and it's fun to kind of show off this weirdness. Should just be one more vets. And remarkably, Matthias's health is low enough that you can even do those vets not even on a break. Gonna hit once here with Ophilia's Holy Light. Put some shields down with Ulbrich. And we're gonna vets through 3 of those shields and do 1 non-shield hit with vets. 2 more soul L's after that kills Matthias. Matthias just has that much low HP. Right, damage quite precise here. I think it's within 1000 as we throw this last L stone. Right, and that is the full run of it. Hope you've all enjoyed. Time will be coming up. Well, I'm sure we know, but yes, after 2 cutscenes here.
Oh, you're
That's
tied
time.
with an estimate. GG.
GG's indeed. Alright. Well, to skip the credits, as I've often done, we'll reset the game. We're going to be going right into the glitch demonstration after this, but yes, thank you, Arno, for joining me on this.
My pleasure.
If there's been any
hope you want each other
questions...
soon. Yeah, I will be leaving. There won't be any transition screen, so we'll dive right into the exhibition. Cheers, everybody. GG Doid.
Yeah, thanks for joining. So yeah, just a few other glitches to show off here and a little bit of explanations as we go. Got a few files prepared to do this as well. If there's any questions throughout all of this, feel free to ask. I suppose in these sorts of things, we often do things like start a timer, so countdown anyways. Well yeah, let's get ready for that. I don't know if the audio video is synced well enough. We'll see how well it's been doing. I'll count down. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so our very first glitch is something you can do on any version of the game, and that's Tiny Travelers. Here we are in Sunshade, Primrose Chapter 1 completed, and we're going to do a side quest here. We're going to purchase Diva's Dress. This is one way of completing the side quest. And turn it in to an NPC over here, the side quest giver. There's two ways of completing the side quest. You can either get the Diva Dress and give it, or you could guide alert the NPC and bring them outside. Because there's two ways of completing them, one of them completes indoors, one of them completes outdoors, there was a little bit of an oversight by the developers. We're completing it indoors, but the developers just assumed, maybe this was the original way you would always complete it, that it's completed outdoors. So the game currently thinks we're outdoors, or at the very least forgets that we have to revert ourselves from going from indoors to outdoors. And so if we don't exit the door and just warp somewhere directly, it didn't take a moment to turn us from the indoor state to the outdoor state, and as it turns out, that means we're tiny travelers. Why are we tiny travelers? Well, in this game, houses that you can enter are bigger on the inside than they are on the outside. And you might be able to tell that from normal gameplay. It's pretty well hidden, though. The camera zooms in a whole lot. And, well, because we're zooming in, inside, basically this is the scale that we'd be at inside there. But it's zoomed in so it looks normal ordinarily. But yeah, Tiny Travelers, it's a fun little quirk. You can do this anywhere. You can warp between screens. This even persists through saves, this version of Tiny Travelers. This NPC in particular, in Grandport, you can sneak behind. It's the only NPC that's placed bad enough that you can actually sneak behind them with Tiny Travelers. But yeah, we can move around. If you ever need to revert Tiny Travelers, all it takes is going indoors and then outdoors, and you're back to normal. Also, while I'm here, to anyone watching, does anyone know there's an alcove back here? That's just a fun little quirk that I've discovered along the way. Alright. From that aside, let's move on into some other glitches, and we're right on our way towards the sort of major glitches. Tiny Travelers, that version of it, can be done on any version of the game. All the glitches that I've been demonstrating today prior to this, and what I'm going to continue demonstrating with double title screen, is PC and Switch or Switch 2 exclusive. And that's because they require something called buffer glitch. On PC, that just requires holding the window bar on the game and releasing it. It buffers a bunch of move at once, you move a whole bunch, and that lets you get inside sign hitboxes, and it's not able to push you outside. That lets you get out of bounds in some areas, skip some optional bosses, stuff like that. And then, in this case, it lets us fall off the wall. Now what I've been doing is falling off the world like that, and it puts us to a respawn location over here. If I watch something in the journal, and this is one instance of watching something in the journal, it reloads the screen we're at. It watched something over on some other screen, it reloads the Swarky screen, and because it's reloading, it doesn't think we entered there anymore, it just puts us at the default respawn location. So now if I fall off the world, the respawn location is going to be inside of that sign, because that happens to be the default. And that's why Haunted 1 works so well. It's because the respawn location's right there. But the other thing we can make use of is that, well, as we're falling, we can open a menu. It's a weird thing, you can't normally open a menu while movement. We're currently inside of that sign. If I watch another event in the journal, it's just coincidental that we use journal in two different ways here. We're going to start up an event while an event's already happening. And if I hit yes here, we notice it failed. It didn't actually watch something in the journal like it did a moment ago. And that's because, well, this event was currently active, but it tried to start the journal event, and it never fully figured out how to conclude that, so now it pushes us to the journal here. And this is called journal state. Now if I trigger any event, it sort of gets a little messy, and it pops us back to the journal. And journal state can do a few different types of things just by itself. It's one step towards double title screen, and these were discovered kind of separately as well in the history of things. But yeah, it can do a few things. For instance, if we do it while indoors, well, since it launches something into the journal that sort of reloads states a little bit, it kind of pops us out and zooms out again. And well, you know, that's another Tiny Traveler setup. So here we have Tiny Travelers. It even has a use with this Tiny Travelers. if I go up to this NPC here, I normally have to defeat them. If I watch something in the journal, this will clear journal state and sort of reset us to making it think it's outdoors, but also still thinking we're indoors because that was the last time we talked to an NPC. Details aside, it kind of shows us off, yes, this is why we're tiny. This maybe is the easiest way of understanding why tiny travelers make us tiny. When we're indoors, we're at this scale. On the outdoors, though, we can kind of see we're zoomed in and small. And it actually is a way of unloading guards. If you ever need to get past a guard without defeating it, you can just do that. And maybe go inside here and steal a forbidden axe. Or purchase it, I should say. Alright, that's basically the one use of journal state by itself. There's a few other niche things. I've now cleared journal state. I'm going to have to go and set things up again. But while we're here, let's now do double title screen. So what was double title screen all about? Well, we're again warping past this. We're falling off the world. We're taking the first steps of... Oops, I never reset the spawn location. Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself. So the first time you watch something in the journal, that's one sets us at our spawn location inside the sign. Now I have to fall off the world. And I'll be inside the sign as I fall there. That's journal state. The event didn't load. And I'm going to take that text box from the sign and just return to title with it. And because we're in journal state, as we recall, anytime we activate an event when in journal state, it pops us to the journal. We can now get the journal on the title screen. And if we watch something in the journal, well, that reloads whatever screen we're on. And if we're reloading the title screen, it'll create a new instance of the title screen. And that's how we can get double title screen. In fact, you can keep this up in certain ways to get triple title screen. Unfortunately, triple title screen is not as useful. It's hard to control two things at once with triple title screen. You only get access to one layer at a time. It doesn't have any immediate use. Alright, what was on my notes for next? Yes. So next, we're going to show off warps a little bit more clearly. We warped around at the beginning of the game before. Let's warp to something that's at the very end of the game with this file right here, Ruins of Hornburg. This is a little bit spoilers, post-game location where there's a final boss. But I'll just show that around, gotta move her a bit. Here I am at Ruins of Hornburg. If I start up any journal cutscene, we of course might recall that that launches things in, oops, I'm slow on that, to start a cutscene, and when we conclude it, it puts us to where we left off. But with the cutscene active, I can then open up some other file, such as the one I was using earlier. The cutscene's still running with the second file open, and if I conclude it with this file, it'll remembered that we started that cutscene over in Ruins of Hornburg, and so when we took that other file that had never been here over to these Ruins of Hornburg. And so you can do that. This is used in the full game runs in a certain way. A little bit of cutscene here as we enter. This actually lets you do two different types of things. Because this file that I just warped here has never done any of the progress needed to get to this point in the game, it not only lets us in, but it also doesn't even recognize that it should be waiting for us to defeat all the flames to proceed. It hasn't disabled this loading zone. We can actually walk right up to it if we've warped ahead. This is called Boss Gauntlet Skip, or Gate of Finish Skip, and it lets you go right to the very final boss of the game. It skips a whole 8 battles. It's rather nice feeling. The other thing, if you've ever seen glitches, a very popular use of double title screen is just using void stint. Anytime you do anything with double title screen, you're in void stint. That's where if we return to title, it doesn't, and it takes us to the void map. And that works from here. Again, when we're in certain places, like Chapter 1s, while they're active, or in Gate of Finish, fast travel is disabled. But if I return to title, it fails to return to title. Instead, it takes us to the void map. Again, I can close that, watch us falling through the void for a bit. This is a fine place to warp out of, and so we do. Alright. Let me just look around for notes. Yes, we'll get right on into the next thing for show. Skipping over a few things for time. You can use that to skip chapter 1 as we were seeing the run. I'm going to go and make a save here, and I'll save it up here. Okay. Then we're going to show off something that gets used in the full game runs. That's Caldera with glitches. And it's a character duplication. So we've seen item duplications in the form of chapter 1 dupes. But now we're going to duplicate a whole character. I need to reconnect my controller, it seems. There we are. Let's have an initiative. How do we duplicate a character? Well, it's going to be another double title screen transfer, as I'm sure we're used to. I'm going to do this from my new Haunted file, just because, well, I overloaded the one I had from a moment ago, but also to demonstrate the slight differences here. And then we're going to transfer stuff in the tavern where we can rearrange our party from one file to another, and that lets us duplicate a character. So here I am back in Haunted 1. If you do a new Haunted file, you don't even have to watch your default spawn location from a brand new file is inside that sign. It takes the default there, so we can just fall off the world immediately. I'll just say that you can set up double title screen a little bit faster than I was doing when I was talking through, but as you were seeing in the run, just doing it immediately, kind of like that. And we've got double title screen. You can also, with things like mash through here, it adds an extra prompt, but I just back out of that. Alright, so here's our double title screen. What's next to demonstrate? It's character duplication. And so I'm going to open up that Gold Shore save I just made. And if we look, it's got these 4 characters. And let's maybe duplicate Cyrus over Ulbrich or something like that. Not picking favorites. We're going to do that over in the tavern here. And a little bit of what I'm doing is improvised. Hopefully Primrose isn't going to cause too much issue. I'm going to first just swap the location of Cyrus and Ulbrich. And I'm going to be getting rid of whoever I remove from right here. I'm currently holding the selection on Cyrus for a moment there. And I'm going to load in this game and complete the moving of Cyrus onto this one. It will move whoever was in Cyrus's target slot to where Cyrus is coming from, but it'll still take Cyrus to there. And in Cyrus's target slot is Cyrus himself. So he'll move a Cyrus that we see on the file we're about to load in to Ulbrich's slot, and the Cyrus I'm currently holding onto is going to go into the Cyrus slot. Now this is rather precise. It's a tricky one. You have to go very fast here. But there we go. Nope, I did not do that fast enough. In fact, if you do it on the same screen, it's a little bit faster. When I was practicing and doing demonstrations before, it was on 2 different screens, so I'm going to have to full reset there. Controls were locked up. You have to be very fast with that version of it. If you're on 2 different screens, it goes a lot easier. Which I was forgetting that detail. I was just improvising a little bit. But yes, if I had done that to a second file, we could have seen that. I'm going to go and open up a file just to show a character duplicated and talk about that. Sorry that it couldn't be demonstrated fully there. But yeah, we could have seen for a moment there that there was 2 Cyruses, and that's the method to go about getting it. Sure, they have a file here with 2 of a character somewhere in the list. Remarkably, no. Alright, what times do we got? We've got 11. We're going to do it again. This time properly, and I'll do it quicker since I'm not going to talk through things. I think it's worthwhile showing off. That's a fun one. And then we'll just have 1 glitch after that. So I'm back in Haunted 1. Sorry for the redundancies and extra time on this, but I think we're doing good enough pace. I'll do it the safer way this time around. Just forgot why I listed the files I wanted to use in my notes as I created these improvised. Alright, so we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to try and clone a Cyrus over Ulbrich in the same positions. We're just going to use a different file for that on the target, receiving side. Still loading the Gold Shore one. It's nice and convenient that it's right next to a tavern. Maneuver my way, indoors, talk to camera keep. As I'm going between screens, moving the characters around. That should do. I'm going to take a file that's on a different screen, the Sunshade one. This should make it a lot easier. And it still isn't fine. Well, perhaps I'm doing extra inputs. My apologies for all of that. We're going to just go into one final glitch for today, and that's going to be first-person camera. It worked in every first try on my practice, and that was all improvised, so my notes must be slightly thrown off. Who knows? Reconnect my controller, apparently, again. Oops. There we are. So the very final glitch that we're going to do is first-person camera, and that seems tremendously strange for a game like Octopath that's taking place in third person. How does that work? Well, it's using the camera system where it has certain offsets from your character, and we're going to load in a file without the camera being set up properly. And it's again, of course, double title screen setups. The way we can do that is with fights. If we start up a fight with one file, and transfer that fight onto a second, and there's no like cutscenes like we were seeing with boss battles earlier, then it will never have a moment in that second file to know where it was supposed to position the camera. In fact, things like camera position, music that's currently playing, that's all tied to the save file, strangely enough. And so when the second file gets loaded in, it'll have tried to load in its camera position, but then when the file concludes, it will not know where to reposition its camera, and it'll work from there. Alright, I need to actually pay attention to what I'm doing. Just hold it on the title screen for a moment there. And this will be our final glitch, but it's a very unique one. If you have any curiosity about these glitches, you're always welcome to reach out. I'm available for reaching out for any speedrunners. If you're in the casual Discord, you can find me there as well. And there's also my YouTube channel that has demonstrations for each of these. Alright, so we're going to use that gold shore save one last time, but for a different purpose now. Let's go fight this NPC. I'm going to do this very safely on the back and forths here. And continue through these in this manner. Starting up a fight. Now I'm going to go load in a file over in... Oops, there's Ulbrich. Have him whack one so I can continue controlling things over in Saints Bridge. Ulbrich got poisoned. We're going to flee that fight to conclude it. There's Ulbrich fleeing. I'm menuing in the dark there. And here we are with the Saints Bridge file opened, but it didn't know where to position our camera, and so it puts us basically inside of our character. Now, we can't look around, it's always pointed northwards, but it's like first-person camera. It's got this fuzzy look with how things get rendered and through the different shaders and stuff in the game, but further away things look rather nice. I think this is a nice pretty view for this. But you can move around. It's very strange and unique. Of course, has no speedrunning purposes. You can do a whole lot. You can go inside doors or indoors. You can open chests. There's some dialogue. We can exit. As soon as you go between screens, though, unfortunately, the glitch does end there. And I am stuck inside this building. Where's the door? There we are. Go up some slopes. A lot of fun. Right, but I will have to call it there. Going a little over time, so we'll leave it at that. Thank you all for joining in on all of this. Hope you've enjoyed. And I'll be seeing you in some other runs later on. But that's all for me for now.
Alright, welcome back everybody.
Welcome back.
I'm Yossarian here with Zazu, and we're going to be commentating the Ochette speedruns in Octopath Traveler 2.
Very fun category. That's... I think you also ran a bunch.
Yeah, this is one of the few Octo 2 ones I did, because it's a really fun, really quick run to get through that we're excited to show off here.
We have Mocha and Melissa as our runners here. So let's see how we do.
And they're both off. Yep, there we go.
Okay. So first off, we need to choose our star, like in every Pokemon game. The options are Akala and Mahina. Mahina is the bird, Akala is the jackal thing.
Yeah, and for speed running purposes, we always go with Akala. And we start here with this like fun little learn your mechanics fight, and it's the King Iguana, and pretty straightforward. We're going to activate double battle speed to make things go much faster, and then you break it a couple times and capture it to have this big ass iguana in your pocket.
Yeah, just like the hunter in Octopath 1, Bonnie, we still have the capture mechanic. We can capture beasts and then we can use them in battle. And we're gonna see it right here. I guess we aren't really using King Iguana, but that's an option. Summon a big lizard for this guy.
Yeah, I think if you're playing the game normally, that's probably what you're going to do. But for speedrunning purposes, it's definitely faster to use Akala.
Well, if you run the Mahina route, which I do, you would use the Iguana here. Because Mahina does so little damage. Anyway, Akala, a very quick 3-turn fight here. Was it 2, 3? You break the guy and then do big damage because Akala, his attack does more damage when an enemy is broken. So it's kind of like an execute kind of thing.
And then this is an interesting town in Octopath because what you do, part of Ochette's thing, is you turn what you capture into jerky. And then in this city, instead of using money, right, you just trade the jerky for your items. So that's what you're doing there, is you're making the jerky and then you go. And then ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to buy the Traveler's Bow to put to Ochette before running off to begin her chapter 1.
Then story-wise, let's see. We had some issues. The human village right next door, they want more land and they want food and stuff. And the beastlings, they don't really agree to that. So they've been kind of having this cold war going on for a while. And today, a kid got lost in these ruins, and now Ochette has been tasked with to save her.
Yeah, both runners perfectly synced here, and this will be interesting because you can get a second encounter here or you can skip it, but it looks like they were both pretty lucky. So, very synced up runs here. Now we're in nighttime, so we're going to run back here. And again, this is another screen where after this fight, we're going to hope to not get a second encounter. So we'll see who the RNG is going to favor this run.
And thanks to the bow that we bought, we can just two-shot this.
Exactly. Up. Second encounter for Melissa, not for Mocha.
I guess we can talk a bit about the boss here, because it's
Yeah.
interesting. I'll let you
It's interesting, and the fight will go pretty fast, so we can start talking about it here, yeah. Go ahead. You can...
Okay, so we're gonna be using our axe here, and Ochette actually has a pretty high crit rate. So we're going to be looking at the amount of crits we get, and then adjust our damage as we go. So if we get too many crits, we have to drop some of our damage, because we don't want the boss to transition to phase 2 too early. The strat is to kinda get 2 transitions at the same time, so we're going to unlock our LP and get to phase 2 at the same time. So if the damage is correct here on Mocha's side, the spawns should happen, and then we should also get LP.
One of the quirks that's tricky on this boss is keeping your cursor on the right enemy, especially if you're playing at 2x speed. Runners got to be pretty careful with the cursor memory and where it's going, because if you push left, it doesn't always go left. Sometimes it goes up.
It's also a bit finicky depending on what little creature the boss eats, because if it eats the front ad fledgling, okay, which happened here on Mocha's case, he's going to have to move the cursor back on the boss. Let's see. And
He's got it though. Yeah, Mocha knows what he's doing.
And then we finish off with our LP, which is a big claw attack in this case. It's an AoE move that has very high base damage. If you crit, you just kill right away, but instead.
You want to explain Ochette's LP?
Oh, Ochette's LP. So you have access to 3 moves once your LP gauge is full. One of them is the claw attack that we use there. It's an AoE, so it hits all enemies. The second one is a bite attack, which does a lot of single target damage. And then the last one is a roar, which debuffs all enemies with physical and magic down.
Nice. Yeah, so after that boss, they go up to Beasting Bay Anchorage, and there's an interesting thing here where once you get into the area, which we're going to see in a sec, you actually leave and then you just TP back into it, because it's faster than running across that whole screen. So you can see Mocha doing it now. He entered to tag it left and then TP back and then hop on the boat to go across the continent to New Delsta.
The main upside with doing it this way is you don't risk getting an encounter on the Beasting Bay screen.
Yeah, that's true. For the next few minutes, what they're going to be doing is just going and tagging a couple places before, presumably, if they're doing the same route, going to go get Oswald. So a couple important places they're going to tag. One's going to be the abandoned village. Talking about Mocha here, who's a little bit ahead, which is going to be right next to where we're going to do some shops later and buy a whole bunch of items that are going to make the run a whole lot easier.
And it's also very important that you walk through the black market screen once you go to Oswald. Because we're not getting him yet. So Mocha is doing a slight variant.
Yeah, this game is quite interesting in that the runners have really figured out when you should walk and run to maximum or to minimize, we'll say, your chances of encounters here. But sometimes if you're like me, you get impatient, you just run anyway.
Yeah, Melissa's side, and there is still the chance that you get the encounter on the black market screen, but Melissa is going to get Oswald early.
And if you're like me, there's nothing more annoying than walking and still getting the encounter. Because you're like, I should have just ran, man. Like,
Same thing with the encounter before Oswald. You can walk here, and sometimes you just get the encounter anyway. Okay, now Mocha is going for Oswald.
Yeah, slight difference in the routes here.
Ah, I see. Okay, Melissa's going for the Cape Hole mod. So this guy has 11k worth of gold items, but takes a good while to kill. So some routes have gotten rid of this guy and gone through with fewer soul stones later. But this is a nice source of money early on.
Yeah, and it can be a safety kind of backup, just to make sure you have enough money to. Yeah, it's interesting that they're doing these different routes. Kind of like to see it, but it makes it harder to commentate.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then the last party member we're getting is. Wait, hold on. Oh, we don't have 4 yet.
No, we're not there yet. Yeah, Mocha picked up Asti.
Throne. Yeah, Throne comes after.
Yeah, and we'll get Throne for sure, yeah. OP Throne.
So if we have Ochette LP going into this fight, you can just click on that and destroy these guys in one attack. The claws are strong. Because we still have the Traveler's Bow, which is pretty strong for the early game. So Ochette is really powerful right now. Alrighty. There we get rid of the Traveler's Bow because we're gonna sell it. We don't need it anymore. On Mocha's side. On Melissa's side, we're about to get Casti.
Yeah, and Mocha, what he's going to do is go around here and get a few critical items, and then also do, I believe, a couple steals, a couple super easy little side quests to maximize the amount of stuff you can get here, because the city just has a lot of stuff in a really condensed area that can help with the rest of the run here.
And
that
we
rare
get the
cog sells for quite a bit, yeah.
First try 55%.
Good day in rock. Mocha's about to play roulette.
Are they playing with the black market mod?
I'm not sure, actually. I don't know what. So the runners, I think, generally could decide amongst themselves which mods they want to do. Like for Octo1, if they want to do Cape mod or not.
This is a black market mod.
I know. And so for Octopath 2, it's the black market mod. And I guess I don't know, and maybe you don't know if either if they agreed to do the black market mod or not, because it's just between those two talking.
But yeah, looking
Oh,
at
the
Mocha's
fish.
the black market mod.
The fish is so annoying.
What is it even weak to?
Nothing. Well, something, but
I think
it's the most annoying
Spear and Axe?
encounter.
No, Spear and Dagger?
Spear and
Dagger.
something.
Or is it
I
Spear
think
and
this is
Bow?
one you usually just kill, actually. But you have to
I
break
think the
it
fish
before
is
the
so
health.
strong that you actually have to break it first.
Yeah, you have to break it before the stone. I think it's the
Mm.
only enemy on that screen that doesn't die immediately to the stone.
Alright, on Mocha's side, no, Melissa's side, we're getting to the black market. So black market mod, if that wasn't covered in the Temenos run already, it's a mod where you get all the merchants in every role. So they're always available. You don't have to gamble on 15% to get the clerics. So it's a nice consistency mod.
Is it 50%? I thought it was like 30-something percent.
15.
Oh, 15. Okay, yeah.
Not good
I
at
was
all.
like, it's not 50. I've struggled way more than that.
Yeah.
I think there's videos on YouTube of Sanjin and I both having like an absurd amount of
Mhm.
tries, like 30-something, without kidding it.
Yep. And so I guess we should talk about clerics. So clerics at the black market, they sell soul stones. Medium soul stones are really strong. You can buy one for 1,700. They deal 1,100 damage. As is, if you use it against an enemy who is weak to the element, it does 135? 1.350? I don't remember the numbers.
We'll find out soon.
We'll find out soon. But yeah, it's very nice because in Octopath 2, evasive maneuvers is not as strong as in Octopath 1, so we are forced to take some encounters here and there. 1,430. I totally whiffed on that number.
Good news for Mocha. That's the encounter he just took is the first one where you get real big experience. So you learn a bunch of stuff. Then it's famous for ambushing you and sort of, well, literally killing runs if you're grinding for a good pace. But luckily, not ambush, so Mocha keeps rolling, and Melissa too. Also a good fight. So it looks like the runners are getting decent luck today, which is good to see. But also Mocha, this encounter here is one you really pray you don't get surprised in as well. And he's good. Nice. Love to see it. And it doesn't kill the run in the sense of killing your characters, but it just kills your time. Because this game is so fast.
Thankfully, Octopath as a series gives you autosaves anytime you transition screens, so even if you die, you're just go again. And some of the support skills we just equipped there was evasive maneuvers, which increases the amount of steps you can take before getting encounters. That's gonna help a lot. A lot of the screens where you normally would get maybe 2 or even 3 encounters, you're now going to get 1 with correct usage of walking and running.
And I believe that they made a tweak with Octo 2, right? Where the first encounter on the screen is quicker, but then there's a bigger time between the first and second one, right? Versus like Octo 1, it's all consistent.
Yeah, I think the way it worked is the first encounter happens in half the step count effectively, and then you get the full step count for the second one.
But Mocha's showing why we like those M stones, because you just one-shot these story bosses.
Yeah, just like Hanit, which we're gonna get in the relay. Ochette also has these provoke fights every now and then in her story, and just like with Hanit, it's just better to throw stones. Because right now the only beast we have is Akala. While Akala is pretty strong, it would take some time to defeat Albione here, who is defending the...
Sometime, yeah.
What she's defending... I forget what this place is called. It's like the Cave of the Sea God or something.
It's Cavern of the Sea God. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's the guardian of that place. She's guarding the Guardian. Yes. And that's Ochette's quest. She is going to travel the world for the 3 guardian beasts or legends, so she can bring them back to the village and fight against the... Was this the Darkest Day? Another game. Wait. Wait, Darkest Day is some other. Hold on, I'm looking this up.
But yeah, that was
Someone
her
go-
chapter 2, right? And she doesn't even have a boss in her chapter 2. She
Okay,
just
okay, Darkest
does
Day
it.
was Pokemon. The Crimson Knight? Knight of the Crimson Moon, something like that. Had anyone any lore knowers in chat?
There's this sorrowful moon.
Mm.
That's the boss at the end. The Malama Owl.
Knight of the
Sorrowful
Crimson Moon. Thank you, Uno, in chat. Got it. Okay, so with that chapter done, a very quick one. We got our first Guardian Beast in. What is the little guy's name? Well, the big beast is gone, but we got the egg and hatched a little sea worm out of that. And now we're getting an event.
The most broken part of Octo2 here. And we have the items already ready, so now it's just going and doing 2 of the simplest inventor things, which gives us a step ahead, which enables you to get basically a free turn before the enemy. And then also Spring Boots gets used here as well in this run. But one thing that a nuance I'm going to point out, which you guys can look at, is if they're, we'll say, following the optimal route, you don't want a step ahead on all your characters. You want it on just 2 of them, because if you're going to try to flee or just kill an encounter, you don't really need all 4 characters before the enemies. So, according to the optimal routes, you would have like Ochette and Throne have a step ahead, and then Casting and Oswald not. And what you might do is you might have one character try to flee, and then Ochette could just use one of the beasts that we summoned to kill them. Meanwhile, you just have Casting and Oswald just chilling. So we'll see what they opt to do, but this is another screen for both of them where you want to kill these encounters to build up more JP EXP, which we can do because we could buy all those M stones early on. We planned way ahead at that cleric early on for the number of stones we want.
And we get specifically light soul stones.
Ooh,
Medium
Melissa got
light
a
soul
little...
stones. Oh. Nice. So what we want to do is we want to break the armor eater because it does not die to 1 M stone right away. And it's weak to access swords and staves.
Yeah, so the runners learn the breaks for these screens specifically because the stone doesn't kill them all right off the bat.
But yeah, with Melissa's Queen Octopath, he's going to have a lot of extra JP, 3k extra money, and some XP as well. I can't remember how useful the extra JP is in this category specifically, because you don't really learn.
Yeah, I don't
skills.
think
I guess you
it's
can
as-
front load
yeah.
menus. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, it's not nearly as much of a benefit as like it would be in Octo 1. Like Kate's in these routes help, but not nearly as much as a Kate does in Octopath 1.
Now both runners are about to come to the best section of Ochette single story, which is the pig hunt.
The big RNG point that has also killed many a run is
So
you need, well, Mocha got it, right? You need to get the meat and to capture it to turn into meat later, right?
Aromatic jerky is what you need for
Yeah.
So normally you take off evasive maneuvers, and Melissa gets it too. You take off evasive maneuvers here and turn to night, so you get as many encounters as possible, as quickly as possible. But here we just get it on first try because we're so good at the game.
It's pre-recorded. Yeah, things are looking good for Mocha. We're gonna hope to really see a meep here from Melissa to keep things rolling.
And then we get to Crackridge.
I was watching Mocha. I mean, I assume Melissa got one too.
Oh, yeah, Melissa is done as well.
Okay, cool. So they're like
We're
totally
trying
synced up. Very nice.
Yeah. So the story here in Crackridge is that there's like a guardian of the earth who is sleeping, and Ochette wants to go meet him. His name is Terra, and for some reason the only person in the village or town who knows where he sleeps is this Pom guy, and we give him some meat, he becomes our friend and leads us to Terra.
That's how I make friends. I just bring them meat. First
Here,
time
have
I
some
meet 'em.
bacon.
Yeah,
Terra
and
is
a lot of
effectively
these
an old man.
a lot of these runs, the issue is you get later and the encounters become stronger and you risk just getting ambushed, as we're seeing right here, and it's just kind of brutal for the pace. So they're always like finishable, but they can definitely really slow you down.
At this point, since we have merchant, we can just use hard help to get rid of these encounters quickly. But as always, getting ambushed by encounters is always scary because high-level enemies, we're really weak. Okay, now
Oh
we have the
yeah,
Terra
look who it
fight.
is.
Big boy Terra. He's like a magma turtle thing. I always call him Groudon. These are all Pokemon. Which is a Pokemon training.
So we're making good use of the inventor moves here as well. So one thing that'll consistently happen, they should be using Casti as the inventor, right? And then you'll use critical scope, which is a substitute for the thief's armor corrosive. And then later in the run, you also use spring boots. So between a step ahead, spring boots, and critical scope, you can basically really manipulate the turn orders in the sense that you can have Casti, the inventor, be first each turn with the spring boots. And then that always sets up the critical scope in time for your other 3 characters.
I think Mocha might have forgotten to learn armor corrosive. That's my guess here.
Yeah.
So the way these big beast fights work is you need to bring them low enough for Ochette to capture them. Oh yeah, I forgot armor corrosive, unfortunate. So once you bring them to 1 HP, they don't actually die. They just become... what do I call it? They become passive, they don't attack you anymore for a bit, and that gives Ochette a chance to capture them.
Yeah, they have to get caught monologuing first. And then, yeah, Ochette captures these. You don't just like finish and kill them. You capture them at the end of the fight. So that can actually add a little bit of time too. If like on the capture turn, Ochette is last. You have to defend with all your other characters and then use her to capture. And all of these are really just like little things. If you're just playing casually, it's totally cool. But if you're going for a top time, all these little things that add a couple seconds here and there really add up over the course of the run.
Melissa got the sheep. The sheep is annoying in the New Delta area because it's very fat, you can't really break it easily. There's the corrosive.
Spring boots, there we go.
Right, Mocha's got it this time.
Yeah, this should be
here we can
good.
also see what happens if you mess up something in the fights. Sometimes it's recoverable depending on your turn order, but fights are very specific. You have to do specific actions in specific order.
And now we're seeing on Melissa's screen how you can just use Terra to kill all these encounters and don't really need the stones anymore. There are a couple instances where the attack from Terra, because I believe it does 2 or 3 like individual attacks and then the AoE, right? So
Terra's attack specifically is an AoE staff attack and then 2 single target fire.
okay, yeah, the AoE first. So sometimes you need to break first or kill one enemy first, just to make sure those individual attacks hit the right enemy. But on an encounter like this one you're seeing for Melissa, it doesn't really matter too much. But that'll probably come into play later.
And Terra is a special beast where you need to boost to max to summon him. There's a couple similar beasts in the game that were introduced in Octopath 2. At least I think Octopath 1 didn't have beasts that you can only summon at max speed.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. You can only summon them once as well, so they're really special.
No, ambush!
No, not the monkeys too. The monkeys are the worst because they buff, or the big monkey buffs defense as well.
And so to get in this cave, you make it night, and then you knock them out using Cassie's concoct, right? You put the person blocking the cave to sleep, so you don't have to fight them.
Yes. Backing this up well.
Oop.
Alright, big monkey is gone. Any M-Stone should be able to finish this monkey. But I don't remember what type stone route is in this one. In Ventral's route, you just chuck stones if you have to, because that's the only thing you can do oftentimes. This is one of the reasons Octopath 2 runners hate Stormhail, or at least specifically me, because these encounters are really annoying.
Yeah, that's one of the tricky parts of this run, and it's a different type of grind than speedrunning Octo 1. Like, Octo 1 is basically getting a Kate and then getting good RNG on the Chapter 4 boss. Here, it's more grinding out and not getting ambushed in fights.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a long screen too for Melissa coming up here. And you can get, again, some bad encounters here, but hopefully
we get good encounters, right?
Yeah, we're good. Easy peasy. Just don't get ambushed.
Yep, that's simple. Let's hope Mako doesn't get...
Yeah, don't get orange omens right now. Monkey!
At least it's not an ambush, so we take those.
Yeah.
I guess we could talk about the different hard help options, because here we use a couple different ones. For the Stormhail trip specifically, we use hard help ruffians a little here and there, because it reduces physical and elemental defense. And that often allows Terra to just clear the enemies very easily.
And then in Stormhail, we sell just a bunch of items to get enough money to make sure we have enough money for hired help later. Managing money and money routes is going to be very relevant throughout all of today and tomorrow. Especially in the longer categories, like half game categories, managing money becomes much more challenging.
And now that we are in Stormhail, we are ready to get our third legendary beast. We're going to capture Articuno, or Glacius as she is called in this game. When we arrive in Stormhail, everyone's talking about how the weather is really bad, and apparently it's because Glacius has been on a rampage for reasons unknown. And Ochette, of course, is going to check it out. And she's gonna kick ass. Oh no. Melissa accidentally used a call on the card.
Yeah, just a little misclick.
Reload there. Oh, but now we're even again.
Yeah.
This is so hype.
A lot of back and forth with bad RNG. Just going back and forth between the two characters, or the two runners.
This is a beautiful showcase of how Octopath 2 can be. But also, it might turn away potential new runners, because this is not going well.
No, and it's also these runners are trying to play at a fast pace, right? If people take their time, it can be a bit better.
There we go. Both are past the guard.
All right, so this screen, we want to walk to the first part here.
And safety save.
And safety save, yeah. To the first cutscene, which generally will avoid the encounter. And then afterwards, again, bad fights, you just pray you don't get ambushed here. This is another one that's, just hope for the best to run up this mountain. Terragoon!
As we approach Glaciers, I guess we could talk a bit about
Very
accuracy.
nice.
So back in New Delta, both runners bought 2 unerring earrings for Throne specifically to increase her accuracy by 20? Yes, it's temper, so yeah. 20 accuracy from that. And that will allow her to always... I think it's always? I think she's guaranteed to hit... what's it called?
No,
HP
it's very, very... It's like 90 some. I don't think I've missed it. I've missed. But I don't think it's very, very helpful though. The accuracy boost.
Let's see, can Mocha do this?
Yeah,
We're
so
also going to use
Elemental Bomb Bottle is a really, really goated ability for casting, where it basically identifies their elemental weakness and just uses that, which is super good against these later bosses.
As long as you have revealed an elemental weakness on the enemy, the elemental bomb will hit an elemental once. So if the enemy has 3 elemental weaknesses, it will hit 3 times per boost point. So you could do 12 hits if you max boost the elemental bomb, which is pretty good for breaking. Here Mocha is gonna get the flashes. Getting their Melissa's side as well. Boosting our beasting damage with crit scope. Yeah, this is a really close race.
Yeah.
Very nice. And I guess
Guess we
Mocha is
gotta
going
go
back to
back to-
town
Yeah.
to either sell, or is he gonna mug now?
Yeah. What do we need here?
He's
What are we
mugging
looking
the guy
for?
now, alright. Yeah, I think Melissa did this mug earlier. But the reason Mocha does this here is because you get a sword as a drop from Glacius, and this allows you to sell that together with the weapons you mug from this guy.
Now we go back to where it all began.
We have our
30
3
minutes
beasts. We're gonna save our island from the Night of the Crimson Moon. And we're readying for battle. And of course the human village leader came over and said, "Huh, what are you idiots even doing, you animals? Why is the moon red? What did you do?" And that's what
Yeah, Victory Road time. Good comparison here. There's gonna be 3 different battles of just like
3 battles with some shadow creatures.
yeah, before you go in and actually fighting the last boss.
And we can see how the background has gotten all red from the red moon in the sky. We kill these with a combination of soul stones, summons from Ochette. We're gonna use clashes for the first time here, and we can also use guards. There's some different combinations you can use here, depending on what you like or what your resources are. But thanks to Step Ahead, this should not be an issue because the enemies are not even going to get a turn, and they can't ambush you either because they're so small. And I guess we could talk about clashes here. So where Terra is an AoE stat attack into 2 fire moves or 2 single target fire attacks, Glashes does 1 AoE Ice, 1 AoE Wind, and 1 AoE Lightning back to back. So if you have to deal with big encounters, Glashes is your way to go. Did Mocha get an extra encounter? Oh wait, no.
The screen Melissa's on, you can get an encounter if your movement's not super clean. Which is frustrating. And this screen too, actually.
Wait, why is Oswald dead on Mocha's side? What happened? I missed it. He's in his
Maybe
natural
misclick.
habitat, sleeping. Always on the ground. Alright, Melissa's heading into the last boss. This boss is pretty simple with our current technology. We just use Fireball to reveal a fire weakness, and then we break it with Elemental Bomb.
Yeah, our characters, despite being under-leveled, are pretty stacked with abilities at this point.
This boss was the worst one when speedruns for this game started, because we didn't know about the abating orb tech. So the way this boss works, it has to consume every party member before you can actually kill it. So where most bosses only have one sort of dialogue trigger in the middle, where you bring 50% HP and then you have to listen to them talk, this one has 4. So runners were trying to figure out what's the best combination of characters to get through that fast, and I think someone even dropped a character to get through the consumes early. But then we found out about evading orb tech, where you just get rid of the invisible block. Now we can just kill it without anything happening.
Made the runs a lot faster when that got discovered, like minutes upon minutes faster. Alright, and then there's a couple little boxes, and then Melissa will be finished. And Mocha's
friendship jerky.
Cruising along here too. Very nice.
I guess one nice detail here is that since we picked a Kala at the start, we are fighting the bird at the end. It's gonna be the other way around if you did the other one.
Alright, GG Melissa. Very nice run. To the low 38. It's pretty solid.
Beastlings. Oh yeah, Thronia's LP. Very good.
Abusive LP.
Extra turns are good when you can just slap
Gosh, the
merchant on
most
someone.
broken LP in the game, maybe. Yeah, Throne getting 2 turns.
Well.
But GG Mocha.
Good runs for both
Close
of them.
race. Close race. Very exciting. A lot of back and forth. Awesome.
Nice. Anyway, I guess that's it for us. We're going to be running Golden Axe
Yeah,
next.
both of us are hopping to actually running Golden Axe next. So I'm going to say GG, and I will be back later. But well done, runners.
Alright. Our runners are off. This is Golden Axe. This is a lovely little short and sweet category where the goal is to obtain the Golden Axe. That's it. We're going to be starting with Haunit, later picking up Therion, and then running straight to that axe and grabbing it. That will be the goal of the run.
Yes, so we can see the 6 runners, all 6 have experience in this category, and I believe we'll be seeing some different routes as well. Dragon Knight, do you have experience running this yourself as well?
I do not. I've been meaning to, but I have not actually looked into it all that. Well, no, I have looked into it, but I haven't actually done runs myself.
Yes. For those who are uninitiated, the Golden Axe was basically a meme in this game, well, upon Octopath Traveler's release, there was an article that came out, which was very notoriously incorrect on many points. It talked about how Golden Axe was the strongest obtainable axe in the early game, which it is not. It's a middle tier axe. In addition, it said that only Haunted could use it, which is also incorrect, as Alphen can also use it, and also any character who gets the Apothecary or Hunter sub jobs. So basically, it became like this notorious meme, and a fun joke category kind of sprouted where players would try to get this axe as fast as possible. Dragon Knight, do you want to talk about some of the requirements to obtaining this axe and why we start with Haunted and such?
Yes, so this axe is held by an NPC in Clearbrook, and in order to get to where this NPC is, you need to get past the girl who's guarding the door inside. So we need a way to knock out the girl, which is where Haunted comes into play. We're going to be using Provoke to do that. And then Therion is going to steal the axe off of the poor old man who has it.
Indeed. So yeah, to knock out the NPC who guards the axe, who guards the door to the axe, you have to use either Haunted or Ulbrich, but Ulbrich is much farther away, and you also have to use Challenge and just get stronger. Haunted is actually better in terms of using her monsters, and is also just geographically closer, so it's just far faster to use her. And I believe there's a level requirement too for Ulbrich.
Yeah, there would be.
Yes. So in chat, Nacho Yakubu asked, can we use Tiny Traveler's glitch to sneak past the guard? So for anyone curious, Tiny Traveler's is a glitch that you can shrink your characters down in size, but and then that lets you walk past exactly one door in the one guarded door in the game. Unfortunately, that door is not the Golden Axe door; it's the door in Grandport. All other doors in this game that are guarded, the NPC is so close to the door that even if you use the glitch to become tiny, you cannot sneak past the guard. Also, we see here that a few of the runners are battling a random fox and defeating it to capture it to use as a monster in the upcoming boss battle as well. Also for EXP and JP to level up. Dragon Knight, do you want to talk about Jizarma a little bit? Or do you want me to talk about?
Go ahead.
Sure. Okay, so Jizarma is the first boss. Basically, it's like this monster that's like terrorizing Hana's home village, and we have to defeat it in order to finish our chapter 1. Basically, there was a minor improvement in this battle script that was done. Now the modern script basically uses a max boosted True Strike early on. Early in this category, we saw that all the 6 runners bought a upgraded bow for Haunted, which does more damage. And now in this improved script, and a fully boosted True Strike is done earlier, so that we can exchange one of the foxes for a bow attack, which is a faster animation, which is a minor time save, but it is something. And then otherwise, it's just hoping for blinds if we can get it. If so, you can sometimes skip a heal from the boss, and then we're basically just doing 2 max boosted True Strikes with some fox attacks. So we can see it's going pretty smoothly for all the runners, and then we use Rain of Arrows to do the final break, and then a final boosted True Strike to finish off the boss. In addition to that, if when Haunted does get low, you do have to heal her up and such. All right, and looks like some runners are finishing up.
4 down.
Yes, indeed.
Nice.
Let's see, which one is in the lead very slightly? I think it's Doid.
Doid,
yes.
very slightly, yes.
Yes, they're slightly ahead. But this can be anyone's game. The Golden Axe can be notorious. It's a 3% steal with Therion, so in theory you'd get it in about 33 or 34 attempts, but it could take hundreds as well, or it could take just one. Yes.
You never know.
Yeah. All right.
Everyone's
so now,
out of the boss now.
Indeed. And now they're all making the transition toward Therion's town. Zazu here, we see a divergence. So all of the runners are going to the left. Zazu is doing the goat strat of going to the right. So, for anyone who's curious, Zazu is using the Kate mod, which allows him to generate a rare encounter in the Atlas Dam Flats area. This Kate gives Haunted enough experience and job points that if she gets the nearby Scholar job, she can obtain the support skill Evasive Maneuvers. That extremely reduces the encounter rate and makes it way faster to traverse the map. The unfortunate thing is that because it's on the right side of the map and the axe is toward the left, he is going like way out of his way to do this. So definitely a very unique and interesting strategy. We'll see if it pays off. In addition to that, Azazu will also be obtaining 2 Soul Stones as well from the near the Scholar Shrine as well. Soul Stones do a fixed amount of damage and they do a lot of damage. We're going to see that coming up in a little bit. Alright. And then the other runners, as we can see. Sorry, go ahead, Dragon Knight.
No, I was just gonna say Doid's crushing it so far. Everything's working out really well.
Yes, very smooth for them. Also, you see them tag Boulderfall, and now they're leaving. They're gonna go tag Clearbrook because that's where the Golden Axe is. One alternative you could do is to tag Boulderfall, finish Therian's Chapter 1, and then move with Haunted and Therian, the characters, to Clearbrook. Some runners prefer this, some runners don't like this. One issue is that because you have 2 characters, the encounters become larger later on. Like you'll get, oh, it looks like Doid found a Kate. We'll see if he decides, if they decide to take it. Oh, okay, unfortunate. They have a high, oh, and Zazu's found his Kate as well. Okay. They have high evasion, and also you can miss your attacks. So you see some misses and such. But it looks like Zazu might be able to defeat his, possibly. We'll see. Oof. So close. Hopefully they, Zazu, yeah. Unfortunate.
Does it stay?
But,
no.
Yeah. Unlucky. So we see Yozarian is making his way through Therian's Chapter 1 map. So his goal will be to obtain a Ice Sentinel. Dragon Knight, do you want to talk about the Ice Sentinel strat or anything? Or?
The Ice Sentinel, it's just a very nice monster that Haunted can capture. It does very large amounts of damage for this point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use it to defeat the boss of Therion Chapter 1, and also, I believe, for the provoke at the door in Clearbrook.
Yes, indeed. Doid, their preference is to tag Clearbrook to get smaller encounter, smaller monster battles and such. If you travel to one character, you might only get like singular enemies and such, and that's easier to run away from. But then after that, they're going to go and do Therian's Chapter 1, just like Yozarian is doing right now. So Yozarian wants to find an Ice Sentinel and then break it and capture it with Haunted monster ability. The Ice Sentinel will do basically a boosted ice attack, and it does a lot of damage if you do boost it. So right now it's like the fastest way to go about completing this, but you do need to. Oh, it looks like he got it, so that's good.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
All right. Doing a little bit of extra damage to guarantee the capture. Or at least, yeah, to 100%. Also, Zazu has defeated his rare encounter, the Kate, and now he goes to Scholar Shrine. You can see him doing a provoke and a flee. This will reset the encounters on this map so that he can flee them. He can reach the Scholar Shrine and get the Scholar sub-job. Then that will allow him to get the evasive maneuvers support skill from the job with the job points he got from the rare cat. All right, and now we see Enk is also at Boulderfall for Chapter 1 as well, and QT's traversing the map still as well. And let's see, Uno just reached Boulderfall as well. Okay. So it looks like Yozarian's battle is going reasonably well. His Sentinel did defeat the ad, so the side enemy, and then that helps with defeating the boss because like now you just focus down on the boss. Although you do have to be careful because he does hit pretty hard, and you haven't actually like grinded or anything. You're pretty low level still. All right. Still though, this can really be anyone's game because once you reach Golden Axe, it is very just anyone's game to steal it. Zazu here we can see going to the top right for a light medium soulstone. This will be used for the provoke later to defeat the enemy guarding the axe. In addition to that, he's moving upward to get a larger soulstone. Those do 2700 damage and will almost one-shot the Chapter 1 Heathcote boss that everyone else is fighting. It'll just be a little bit leftover HP, and then he'll need to use Lightning Blast or True Strike to finish it off. And let's see, Uno we can see is capturing his Sentinel now too. So all of them are doing like boosted wildfires, which the Sentinel is weak to because it's ice and then it's a fire element.
Alright, let's go ahead. Thanks for getting there as well now. Or not. They might have one already. I missed it. There's 6 runners, it's kind of hard to keep watch of everyone.
Yes, indeed. Alright, let's see how Okay, so Enk is showing the battle where you break the left little side guy, and then you hope that the sentinel that she summons now will defeat it, and it does. Okay, great. So now, just like that, it should go a lot smoother, because now you can focus down on Heathcote. And you do need to summon sentinels later as well, but for now you just chip them down a little bit. And you can see, if anyone's watching Zazu's map, he's traversing a huge portion of the screen, and he's not getting any encounter just because of the evasive maneuver support skill he's got. He's just gonna blow through all these bosses and everything. So, this boss, but yeah. All right, Doid has finished up chapter 1. They are moving out of there. And QT has found 2 sentinels, which is unfortunate. It's a little slower because you do want to capture one, but then the other's like taking turns and such. So a little unfortunate, but all right.
There's the boss down for Enk as well. Yuzarian's also finished the boss on the way back to Clearbrook now.
Yes. Also, if you look at Yuzarian's screen, he got 3 eggs. This formation only happens when you have 2 characters on your in your party. If you only have 1, it will only be a singular egg, or maybe double, but you wouldn't get 3. So this is the drawback of recruiting an extra character early. But in exchange for that, you do save 1 transition, which is like a screen transition out of Boulderfall. And in addition to that, you do have like an extra body to help protect against attacks and such, just in case or something. Alright, and Enk and Doid are doing, well, Enk's doing his battle, but Doid is doing their steal already. So this is the legendary Golden Axe that this NPC is holding. So, unfortunately, okay, so this is something as well. They changed the character order in their party, so that way you can steal, because it's the first cursor action. That saves like a decent amount of time if you're doing a lot of steals over time. And since they couldn't get it like in the first 5, they decided to do this. But we see how many attempts that they take. Okay, and Enk has finished his... Yeah,
rolling now as well, yeah.
And he's doing the same thing, where he's trying to steal without changing cursor. We'll see if he also changes the party position. Because right now, like, you always have to navigate down from Provoke, which is Hanet's ability, to Hetharian's steal ability. But yeah, we'll see if he cares at all about that. Looks like Doid is leaving for a autosave. Yep. So they want to make sure that they can finish the run, and then they can just reload the save as necessary. Yuzarian's getting some unfortunate fleas in the top right, but making progress. And QT RPG girl is also making good progress, down to just Heathcote, and doing a lot of damage. She's at 1700 with the Sentinel, so a good chunk of his HP down. Uno as well is also doing his steals, so making good progress as well. So let's see who gets who has the skill to get the 3%.
There it is. Yeah, exactly. The ultimate measure of skill right here. The 3% steal.
Alright. So Zazu has finished his battle. His battle, of course, went quick because he just threw a soul stone. If anyone saw his battle, it's literally just one-shotting the enemy. And now he's also doing his steals. So you see that all the runners are basically linked up. QT is a little behind, but not that much. So yeah, and she's also finished up, so very nice. Let's see. Oh, did Uno get it?
Oh, Uno got it.
Hey, okay. Clearly the best Golden Axe runner. For anyone who is curious, Uno has done actually a Golden Axe Galdera run with 8 Hanets. Very enjoyable battle on his YouTube channel. If anyone wants to check him out, Uno Very Drake. And just to shout out the other runners, Doid has they do a lot of glitches and glitch videos and such, and lots of tutorials. Zazu, he's a great moderator of the Octopath community and also a great runner, and made a ton of routes and stuff. Yozarian has many records in I think the Cape Mod categories, and also has done almost like pretty much every single story I think, or at least a good chunk of them. And then long time runner and also very skilled. Notorious for missing, for not being able to hit Liblack with Therian, and then QT is also a very experienced runner who's done like almost every category in Octopath 1 and a good chunk of them in Octopath 2. So everyone over here is a highly skilled runner. So yes, now they're basically all just going to be stealing and such. QT is finishing up her battle, went smoothly with the Ice Signal. Okay, looks like Zazu
got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Clearly we see the superiority of the Cape Mod route here in action.
I know. I can't believe it.
Yes. And let's see. Yes. QT is loading an autosave just in case. We'll see how many attempts it takes her as well. And then Enk is also loading his autosave. So yes, if anyone is not following these people or wants to follow them, highly recommend it. They, I believe, all have YouTube and Twitch channels. So. Oh, and Zazu has gone out of his way to get both axes. What a goat runner!
Yeah, so clearly... I was wondering, I was rolling again after they already got it, going for the other one.
Yes.
Really styling on us here.
Well, we have about 7 more minutes until the estimate is. Then we will unfortunately need to mercy end the runs, but hopefully they all get it. All our skilled runners. Has QT got it? I think. Yes, I think.
Oh right. Yes, and I believe Enk has as well. I missed it, but I assume the menu is there for.
Nice. So it looks like Doid. Doid was, I believe, one of the first to reach the steals, maybe the first to reach the steals. But you can really see how it really just comes down to a little bit of unfortunate RNG. But it's it looks like they just got it. Speak of the devil. Great.
There we go.
Yes. This category, I believe the world record in the category is like, I don't know, it's very low, but it's like within the first 5 attempts for sure. But basically runners will have to just reset until they get within the first 5. And then there's the RNG of all the battles along the way, because when you're running from a battle, if you fail a battle, you saw earlier, a few runners would slip and fall, and then that wastes a little time. And then that will unfortunately just make the attempts kind of painful as you try to get the world record, and it's only 3%, so you're not likely. Alright.
I believe it's about like 13.5 minutes, I think, is roughly is the world record.
Okay, yes. Very fast.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, most categories get evasive maneuvers, the thing that Zazu got, but this is the only category I believe that does not get evasive maneuvers in the Octopath speedruns. So that is very important for reducing encounter rate, but because it's so far away, most runners don't get it. But Zazu, of course, being the legendary runner he is, has come up with the genius plan to get it.
Yeah. You don't always get it, you know, unless you're Zazu.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Yozarian is not having great luck, but that is this category in a nutshell. Oh yes, so a fun fact, this is not the only 3% in all speedrun categories. Even though 3% is really bad, and you ideally don't want to be doing this because you can do it, you know, hundreds of times. The Therian single story speedrun, which will be happening later today, requires a 3% steal mandatory in the chapter 4, and that's a notorious like choke point of RNG. Basically, a lot of runners, even if they are on good pace and like you know if they're world record pace or something, that they could easily lose it because the RNG is just not in their favor, and they could take hundreds of attempts. For example, 2 runners like Alta Biscuit got 199 attempts, and Lost Core got 313 attempts on their 3%. Oh, Yuzarian just got the Golden Axe. Great. So
there you go. That's all of them.
I believe that's time.
That's everyone.
GG's everyone. Great job, and like lots of
Incredible.
lots of spare time left over.
Yes, well done. Doit's having fun. Yes, that was wonderful race. Well done, everyone there. We are, I believe, going to take just a very short break, and then we'll be back with Theory on Solo.
Yes, Dragon Knight, thank you for commentating with me.
Thank you very much.